I can't do a big night every night. I can't do it. It's impossible, you
Yeah, I
know.
know. Yeah.
It's impossible to do. I don't know. I thought I would have people coming out of the woodwork to want to be on this, and come to find out nobody wants to be on it.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. I must admit, I have the same problem with mine, and that's only once a month. And,
Yeah.
I try to have some real cool. I've had, every time I have somebody come and talk, like I had Bob Heil, he came and talked. I had 80 people, and that was really cool. And I had, Joseph came and talked to, I got Joseph to come and give us a talk on SDR. So that was quite good. I had like 28 people. But like on a regular, I think I did one a couple of weeks ago, and I think there was 5 people. And we didn't, and I try to do, if I do a real topic and publicize it, it kind of works better. But I don't know. I don't know whether people have got fed up with the Zoom thing. But
I don't know.
I don't know. We're kind of odd down here, though, because, I've been trying to figure out our club because, we don't have a huge amount of participation. But the problem is, and we've got it here in our development, is that we've got such a large population of, I want to say transits, but we'll call them, snowbirds, that the people that come down here aren't invested,
Yeah.
if you understand that.
Yeah.
They're just not invested in, and I don't know where they are up north, because whenever they're down here, they're always talking about, and that was their home before they bought down here. So, they seem to be still invested up north, because it's kind of different when the people physically move here. They seem to be a little more, I don't know, into it, but it is odd. I've never lived, like, all these developments like I live in, you can go up and down your road and the main road. I mean, we've only got one extra entrance in and out. And this week, of course, we had the fires right across the road. So first thing in the morning, Bonita Beach Road was almost impassable. In
Yeah.
fact, we got a message from the local fire department and the police saying, unless it's absolutely essential, please don't go out.
Mm.
Because we've got like a warning system here that the I don't know what you call it. It's not like the orange flag thing or the yellow flag thing or whatever it's called, but we get texts and we get
Right.
emails saying, oh, the we had an Amazon bus burn out here, not bus, delivery truck burn out here a couple of weeks ago. That was amazing. That thing burnt for about 4 hours. It was one of the electric ones.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it burnt to a crisp. Literally, they couldn't lift it up. They couldn't take it away. They couldn't put it out. They just left it.
Let it burn.
Yeah, let it burn.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, with those lithiums. So there we go. Oh, we got a few
Yeah.
more in. Look, we doubled our number.
Yeah. Well, one of them's my monitor. I don't know if that counts.
Oh yeah,
The other
no.
one's Rick. Rick
Yeah,
definitely counts. Yeah, I was just saying, Rick, I don't know where everybody is tonight, but that's okay. We're going to come in and do what we do anyway. But anyway, let me turn that on there. It's a little better. Okay, we're all set to go here. I don't have a whole lot tonight. I'm going to tell you guys right up front. Well, let me start with this is the Southwest Florida TechNet. My name is Ian, KO4EFS. And tonight we're going to have open topics. I've got a couple things myself. Dave's got a couple things, and we're going to open it up to anyone else that has anything they would like to discuss tonight. Um, I'll start with breaking news. Will Smith is stepping down from the Academy. Oh, wait, this is the wrong show. Um,
Who's Will Smith? Who?
Will who?
yeah, Mr. Slapper.
Ah,
I on the drive the other day, I told Trey said, I don't. How did Chris Rock take that slap? I mean, he slapped him pretty hard. I said, yeah. I said he punched an alien unconscious. I watched the movie. I saw it.
It's hard to be true.
He literally punched an alien unconscious, and then he learned how to box for another movie. So hey, he's got to be good, right? Anyway, but yeah, it's crazy. Just to tell you guys, I've had a crazy day. I got up at 4:00 this morning, and I produced Daybreak with Rtl Sdr this morning. The producer Jake, that's normally there, was at the Seat to Table event that we had going on, and so I was called in as the backup producer to fill in to produce at the station while Jake and his host Drew were down at the event down there. We had two 100-year-old World War II veterans come on this morning, and we played the national anthem, and it was just amazing. You could hear everybody at Food to Table singing, and it was very patriotic. I literally had tears in my eyes. It was so good. That was great this morning. And then I came home and wrote the newsletter, prepped for this show, updated all the websites, went right back to work again and started prepping for the drive. Did the drive. We did the last hour of the drive ahead of time. So I started pre-recording the drive at 3:30. And then we loaded those segments in. And now when I get done with this show tonight, I still have 2 weekend shows I've got to find and get loaded. I'm still not done with my broadcast day. So I will have probably about 9 hours of broadcasting under my belt today. I don't know if that sets any kind of record. Probably not with the Jerry Lewis telethon. Anyway, there you go. All right. So there is a lot going on right now in space weather. I guess we could start in space weather. We've had a geomagnetic storm happen, several of them just recently, and we may have several more coming. And I've seen some really cool propagation. Even 6 meters was opening up a little bit in the South America today. 10 and 12 were opening up. They would open and close. Just a few minutes ago on 20 meters, on FT4 on 20 meters, I could see people. Now it's almost completely blank. I see 2 people left. The bands are opening and closing wildly right now because of the fluctuation in the geomagnetic field. So we've got a K index down to 2 now. It was up to 4 earlier. As you know, 0 and 1 is really quiet. That's what you really want. But when you get a crazy geomagnetic field, sometimes you get some really neat propagation characteristics as well. So I like both. I like to get a really turbulent geomagnetic field and see what I can do with that. But then I also like when that K index is down to 0 and we can get a real quiet field and we can start getting multiple hops. Anyway,
can I just butt in there?
Yeah, go ahead.
On the propagation, well, this afternoon at, 22:10, 22:11, and 22:15, that's UTC, I worked 2 stations in Chile and 1 in Argentina on 6 meters.
Yeah.
Both giving me really good things. But the thing is that Chile, because, Chile's a long, thin country, they were FF. That was the square, FF31. Both were, FF31 and FF32. Argentina, it was GF05. That's not huge, but that's still pretty good for 6 meters. But then the big one at 20:48, I've worked VP8 ADR, which is the Falklands, a guy I actually kind of know because I've spoken to him so many times, Bob, and I worked him on 12 meters down in the Falklands. So that's 5,585 miles. So, you're right. We've had some really... And then the other 12 meters, I've been working all day, and I've worked, nothing huge. Brazil, Ecuador. It was all going south. Puerto Rico, Barbados, Mexico, Argentina, and then, of course, the Falklands was the big one. And that's the first time I've worked Falklands. So I've actually added 3 countries to my country list. I had 140 before. I've got 143 now.
You're doing outstanding considering how antenna impaired you are.
Exactly. I'm everything is inside, So
you're antenna capped.
Yeah, and nothing's more than, it averages out, I guess, 15 feet at best.
Yeah.
So it's all wrong,
I'll tell you though, you height is might, but with HF, it's not as important as it is with VHF and UHF. Because I got to tell you, I'm in the yard, as you guys know, right now on a 7-foot stand. My back's been bad. I can't take that tower down till my back's good. I got Fiji today on 20 or 17, and then I switched to 20 this morning, and I started getting across the Pacific, and I got Australia, 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 Japan, 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 just like that, all in about an hour. That was amazing. And then, of course, I was getting some Russia and things like that. New Zealand on 20.
That's pretty good. What do you say the height was? 7 feet?
Only
Yeah,
7
I
feet.
actually have I have a metal like production tripod, like you would put a speaker, like if you were a wedding singer.
That's what I use all the time,
Yeah. I got one of those out there. It's actually my smaller one, and I got a little adapter on top of it, and I've got the antenna just sitting on top of it. It's
Well,
tight, so it won't fall off, but it's just sitting there. And I go out there and just rotate it around by hand. And yeah, and it works. I'm telling you, the neatest thing today, I did not make the contact, but I heard Saudi Arabia 3 or 4 times today on 12 meters. So I did not make the contact, though. He could not hear me, unfortunately.
That's cool. Well, you know that
I dialed it up to 100 watts as quick as I could, too.
You know that speaker stand? Do you know that the painter's pole that you can get in Home Depot fits perfectly in that?
Oh, wow.
So I've got a number of painter poles. The big painter pole, which goes up to 20, it's 12 feet and it's got a section in it. So I'm guessing it goes up to like 22 feet. It's about $40. I've got one of those, and that you have to take the like rubber foot off the bottom. There's like a rubber molded foot. You have to take that off to go in. But all the rest of them will actually go inside of it. So
That's pretty cool.
That makes a really good mast, you know. And as you say, I mean, I pick up painter poles around here. I don't know why. You know, trash day is Tuesday. Monday's trash day. Recycling is Tuesday.
I picked 2 of them up off the side of the road. One was one was a pool net that comes out.
Yeah, that's right. That's the same thread.
I made a 6-meter antenna.
Yep.
And what I actually did was I chopped it all up and made it to where I could slide the ends in and out to tune it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
Pool
But those, the pool pole, that thread on the end is exactly the same. And Buddy Pole makes an adapter to go on there to take it to, I'm trying to think what the thread is. You know, the normal camera thread
Right.
that goes in the bottom of a camera. So that big thread, I tried to buy a tap or see if I could get one. And even, I don't know, the Master Macar, they don't even sell a tap for that thread, you know. But you can cut up painter poles. What I've done, they make an adapter that you put a paintbrush in. So it's like a claw, and it closes up. So basically, let me see if I can get you to look at this. I'm looking ass backwards. Yeah, it's like a claw, and it closes up on the paint bus with like a screw. But on the bottom is the painter pole screw. So, of course, what you can do is you can put a beam through that.
Right.
And put it up on the thing. I'll bring them all in and show them to you. I'll do that for next week. I can give you a show and tell.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
So, anyway, sorry I butted in again.
No, that's great. Hey, it's all good. But yeah, I can't believe the performance I'm getting out of this thing, and I can only imagine what it's going to do at 25 feet when I get it up there.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and we're going to do this in a little while. I want to get to what you have first. But I'm going to go through the newsletter. I actually went and put the Magic Band stuff. I haven't spoke about the Magic Band in 6 months, but we're coming back up. Season's coming up.
Yeah,
and although they
today.
always talk about the winter solstice season, but I have to tell you, the winter solstice season is nothing compared to the summer solstice season. It's crazy. I got literally like a month and a half of good Magic Band this last year. And with my 6-meter beam, 5-element 6-meter beam, using QRZ, I was able to literally shoot that beam right at the cloud. I could tell where all the X's were crossing. They all over the country, they would all cross in that one spot. And you could see this deep red spot right there where everything would cross. And that was where your reflective cloud was. So all I had to do was aim my beam directly at where all the crosses were, or actually, I actually got so to where I was actually aiming it a little more west than that, because the information we're getting is about 15 minutes old and the clouds move east to west. It's amazing on there how you could actually track the movement of these reflective clouds as they move from east to west around the globe. It's amazing. I love Magic Band season.
Well, don't give it up. It's not just the season. As I say, I keep dxmaps.com, half of a screen. I keep that on all the time. And it tells me what's going on 6 meters. In fact, there is a little bit going on 6 meters even now on 2118. 2118. Oh, that's the local guy. But when it comes round to my turn, I'll show you it. I lost you. There we go.
Yeah, the PSK reporter is what I use. And
well, I use that as well, but
I don't. The DX reporter one doesn't seem to work as well for me. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or whatever. But yeah, I've already got this. Look, it's already set for 6 meters. Last 30 minutes. I would venture to say that there's probably something reflective going on right there. See that?
Yeah.
When you see the strong concentration of lines, that's your reflection point right there. And there's probably another one right here somewhere.
Well, that's the one I hit.
Yeah.
But I think, looking at that, I think I've done better than your map. Or maybe not. Now, where that L is down there, that's where I'll show you my grid tracker in a minute. And I'll show you where I worked on 6.
Yep, I'm actually, one of the things I've been doing now is I've got a receiver that is receiving all the time now. And I'm actually sending my receiver data for 2 different modes, 2 different frequencies all the time now. So I can go for, I can put in my call sign and click go, and it will show me all the different bands that I've been on. Oh, why does it do this? I have I don't know why this does this every so often, why it changes what it looks like. Everything is set correctly here. Oh, that's why I got to put received by. There we go. That should give me my screen. There we go.
There you go.
That's what my radio has picked up in the last hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I got 2 different receivers. Now I got another one here that I've just a little while ago moved down to 7. It'll start picking up stuff here for 7 in just a minute. Yeah, there we go. I moved that one down to 7, and I'll move this one down to, I'll put this one on FT8. And now what it'll show is the blue and the yellow at the same time, because I actually have 2 receivers that are receiving at the same time. Sometimes you can zoom in here to my thing, and it'll actually show my point being 2 or 3 or 4 different colors. Have you ever seen that when you look at this and you see the point and it's like 4 different colors?
No, because I only ever use one band. I think that's because it's different bands, isn't it?
Well, yeah. What I set it on all bands, but just for my stuff.
Yeah, well, I set it on all bands. No, just one band with my call sign. Just whichever band I'm interested in. Usually it's 6 meters.
Right. Well, but if you set it on all bands for you, then you never have to change it. It will still just give you what you found. But what I do when I leave mine on all bands received by me, sometimes I'll have 3 radios on. I'll have my ICOM hooked up to this computer. I can have my Kenwood receiver hooked up to that computer, the Ubuntu or whatever it is up there, and then I can have my main radio, my FT100, hooked up to my main computer, and it's doing my FT8. All 3 of them are reporting PSK data. So I actually, sometimes you can go on there and you can actually see my thing will be split into 3 different colors because I'm actually sending 3 different sets of data to PSK. And now Joseph just popped in. One of the things I would love to do eventually is set up a receiver and a system that would receive like 6 or 8 bands at one time, just one frequency per band. And I can do this with an SDR Sharp and actually scan just all of the FT8 bands and then somehow get that. I got to figure out how to run multiple instances of WSJTX on the same computer. But I'm going to figure all this out eventually. What I'd like to do is have a computer that sits there and does nothing but collect PSK data on everything from 20 or 10 to 40 meters. And just
for your location.
For my location.
Yeah.
So that way, if you're nearby, you can literally pull up my station, pull up my call sign, and you could see which bands are doing better by the color coding. I love this. I'll set these computers to whatever bands I'm going to go to next, and that way I can monitor if they're coming up or whatever. It also shares the data for everybody else to use, which I think is important. But anyway, that's all that is. All right. Do you want what were you going to show us? Go ahead and show us what you want to show us tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, what I've got is actually, let me just go and find the website. Well, I was showing my oh, there it is. Right, I showed you my call book. Right, now I found this guy, G0KSC. Oh, I've got to share, haven't I? Hold on a sec. Share screen. And go there. So you can look up his website. Share. There we go. So this guy, if you're into building your own antennas, he's really cool.
Oh, wow.
He's got all the data on, well, you can see the antennas. There it is, antennas, the construction, building instructions, making a balun, all sorts of things, and then info and where you can get some of the parts. He's a British guy, but there's a couple of videos. I think there's 4 videos. Yeah, 3, 4. This is called an L. This is a different kind of. This is obviously for satellite because it's both polarizations. This is relatively easy to make, and it's called an LFA, I think, or something like that. I can't see it. Construction. Yeah, LFA is the actual matching device. And then he matches it just with a straight piece of coax, so it's really easy to make. And the balun is here, another really easy thing to make. So, yeah, I know you guys some of you are into homemade antennas, so this guy's got a lot of info. I don't want to spend much time on it, but it's a good place to go to. So if you want to keep a note of that, G0KSC. Okay, now I told you last week about the FT8 off. So last night I entered FT8 off. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's the scoreboard. And I came in at 13th.
Oh,
so I made 17 QSOs in the hour. 8 were DX, and I ended up with 43 points. You get 1 point for local, 3 points for DX. So the winning guy, he was running QRP, so you get a boost for that. He did everything DX, so he gets double the points. He got 128. But I thought 13 for, again, indoor antenna was pretty good. I beat quite a lot of, like this guy's pretty good normally, and couple of others. So it's good fun. Something you might want to enter into. Okay. Oh, good evening, Joseph. This one might appeal to Joseph.
Well, hang on. I am going to eat dinner and then I'll be back, and I have a few things to show and talk about and everything, so don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Oh, cool beans.
All right, I'll be back.
All right, we'll see you when you get back.
I'll rattle on about this one then. This one I found when I was looking for, remember I showed you the other QRP kit the other day? I was looking for that, see if it was available, and I found these guys, Pacific Antennas, and they got a ton of stuff. And I kind of, let me see where we got. Oh yeah, here it all is. They got a ton of stuff, and it's all kits that you build yourself.
Yeah.
So what I was actually looking for was if someone had a solar controller. Because I was thinking, solar panels now, the little Mickey Mouse ones have come down to peanuts, absolute peanuts. So, you can get a, I don't know, 30, 50 watt solar panel now for like $30. So I was looking for a controller, and then of course I found this. I found there. I found this. You can get 3 solar charge controllers for $7.99. So, because what I was thinking of doing was actually putting a solar panel on top of the golf cart, and because I leave it outside quite a bit when I'm using it, so I was thinking I could put that outside and see if I could charge the batteries. And even if at 50 watts, over 2 hours, a little bit would add. But you need a controller. So here we have controllers. So, and then the only other thing is that I'm working with my local schools, and the AARL now is operating, they've got what they call it an institute. They're operating a support thing for teachers. Now, basically what it is, it's a summer camp. And you go up to Connecticut, I guess, to where their headquarters are. They pay your airfare, they pay all your expenses, your hotel, the works, and you come away with about $1,000 worth of bits and pieces. And there's even a grant for setting up an amateur radio station up to $1,500 in your school. So I've been working with the local charter school, and another member of our club, Don, has been working with the Collier County Public School Education Board. We're seeing if we can find teachers. It may not happen this year because they got to sign up by May the 1st. But I didn't even know they were doing this. So each summer AAL offers multiple sessions for the Teachers Institute on wireless technology. A 4-day expenses paid professional development seminar that they do. And, I thought it was kind of cool. So this is something, to me, is worth joining the ARL for. And, my stepdaughter, although she's got 2 summer camps this year, she's an IT curriculum coach for Collier County, I can't remember what it is now, schools, not the public schools, the charter schools, and she'll probably go next year. Now, they have to put up $100, which is returned to them when they get up there. So that means that the AARL hasn't laid out a lot of money, and we get no shows. And then obviously if you don't get accepted, you get your $100 back. So as a club, we're actually, if we find teachers that want to do it, we're donating the $100. So for the local teachers, they don't have to put their hand in their pocket at all. So, I don't know if Fort Myers Club is even aware of this.
I doubt it.
No, but I think it's kind of, we all know they do the thing with the space station, but I didn't know. I found out about this purely by accident by watching one of the YouTubers who had the guy who organizes it, Steve something or other, on talking about it, and it blew me away. I actually emailed him and said, where's it? I've got his email here. His name is Steve Goodgame, and he works for the ARL, and he's in charge of the Teachers Institute. And I said, why don't you advertise this? Why don't we know about this and everything? And he's just got the job. He's just moved up from Texas. He was a teacher in Texas. He got 600 kids over about 15 years. They got their licenses. And so he's now employed by the AARL, and I guess we're going to hear more about it. At least I hope we do. So I was very impressed. So that's more or less all I've got, except if you want a quick look at the old logbook. This guy's confirmed that was Chile. And as I say, that's right down FF31 on 6 meters, 4,500 miles on a band. Do you know why we ended up with 6 meters? Does anyone know why the amateurs ended up with 6 meters?
No, I don't.
The government, of course, they wrote a specification saying that television had to be reliable from the transmitter over a distance of 35 miles. So that was a radius, a diameter or circumference, diameter it'll be, yeah, a diameter of 70 miles,
Right.
the footprint for television. They decided that way back, I don't know when, 40s, 50s, sometime or other back then, maybe even 60s. And obviously on VHF, or, whatever 6 meters it is, that couldn't be done reliably. So that's why we got 4 megs, because the government said, oh, that's a useless band. And somebody at the amateurs, they gave it to us. And that's how we ended up with it. And as you can see, pretty much, we can get across the pond. I haven't got across the pond yet, but that's 4,500 miles, and that is with a hamstick dipole up in the attic. So, I'm really, really chuffed with that. And that's my Falklands contact. And I forget where the other... That's 17 meters, as you can see, hitting Japan quite regularly. Go to the next page. 10 meters. I got Ecuador, Argentina again, Chile, Switzerland, Brazil, US Virgin Islands, Trinidad. So the good one there is Switzerland on 10 meters, 4,481 miles. So there you go. It can be done. Indoor antennas, roll.
Yeah, they do. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but are you done screen sharing?
Yeah, let it go. Hang on.
Okay. I wanted to show you guys in this QRZ logbook, they added something just recently. I don't know if you guys have seen it. But over here, you can actually go in and, I clicked the wrong thing. You can actually go in here and set up this menu here by clicking this button. You can set up what's all these things up here and what's shown. You can also set up filters like this. I've got a filter set up that is, see, here's where you set all that up and what you want to show and not show and what order you want things to show in. It's all completely customizable now. And the really cool part that I like is you can set up filters. Like I just selected 6 meters only. Now, one of the cool things I can do, I'm going to shrink my logbook down here if I can get it to do it. There we go. Come on, one more. There you go. If you notice, my logbook gives me mileage over here.
Yeah.
I'm sorting by distance. Now, this is obviously erroneous because that's Panama at 10,000 miles. So I don't know what happened there.
You went the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, there's Mexico and Bermuda. I don't know how all this
around the world or something.
Yeah, I don't know how all these mileages get all screwed up. Look at that. I don't. Yeah, I don't understand it either. But whatever. But you can actually go in and set up a filter, and then when you use that filter, you can see I got 958 6-meter contacts.
Sarah Palin announces political comeback.
Oh yeah, right. You guys hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Something about somebody coming back.
Sarah Palin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Oh, well, of course, she can see Russia from her front doorstep or something. So I guess her neighbor is Putin. So I guess she's coming back to fight the good fight, you know.
She's
Oh, that's
still
funny.
smarter than what they got in now.
Yeah.
Well, she's on par with what we got. So, you know.
I think she's
Yeah. I got to tell you that the thing is with her is, she doesn't brand well.
No.
Her voice is annoying. That's the woman everybody doesn't want as their wife. Could you imagine coming home to that every day? And she's a nice lady. I've heard nothing but good things about her personally, but it just doesn't work. She doesn't translate well. Anyway, let's not get into all that.
Anyway, let's get away from politics. I want
Yeah.
to show this to you.
Oh, what's that?
This is a Hendrix PFR3. Hendrix was the company that had this before Pacific Antenna, which Dave just showed.
Oh, okay.
I call this the school bus radio for obvious reasons.
Wow.
But I've had this a good while. I built this from a kit. It's a 20, 30, 40 meter CW rig. I think it puts out about 5 watts. But,
Oh, that's cool.
But I thought I'd show this to you since you brought that page up.
Yeah.
Because this is on there. This is one of the kits that's on there. So I have one here.
Oh, that's cool. So is that surface mounted components or
No. That's really all.
Yeah, because the new ones, what they do is they put all the surface mounted components on for you, and then you have to add all the others.
Yeah.
But I guess that one's a little older. But
Yeah, that's a little older. I don't know if they've changed that or not on this particular kit.
No,
I know
I've
the
got-
K2 kit is still available, and of course, I'm pretty sure it's all through the hole. So it's I've built it.
no, it's still here. It's called the PFR3B now.
PFR3. Yeah, okay. They may have made some changes, but anyway, I've got
Well,
one here.
not many. I'll show it to you. Hold on a sec. Can I share again?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I should be giving you permission. Yeah.
So there you go. It's still called the Hendrix, but it's called the PFR3B. It's 5 volts. Oh, it's got its own little magic paddle.
Yeah.
Uh,
It probably made some changes since
yeah, I'm just looking at the manual.
several years ago.
I always like looking at the manual. Oh, no, it's mostly,
Yeah, that looks kind of like it.
yeah, no, these are chips in sockets.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's a nice looking kit to build.
There's no way I could do that.
Nah, there's no such thing as no way.
There is when your hands shake.
No.
I got shaky hands on both sides of my family. My great grandfather, my grandfather both have Parkinson's, and I have had shaky hands my whole life. Used to bug me when I was a firefighter. I'd be holding, trying to glue something or do something, or I've never been really good with little fine things. Like I've got all kinds of tools, but if it gets down to where it's so small, and then my eyes got bad over the last 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
And with bad eyes and shaky hands, forget it.
Yeah.
Not gone that.
Well, you know that Joseph has got a large family because he's finished eating dinner already.
He just couldn't wait to get back.
Now, so can I just show him that page?
Yeah, go ahead.
'Cause I think this will appear to. Oh, hang on, I'm doing it wrong. I think this might appeal to you. Let me go. Actually, if I go back, there you go. There's this company called Pacific Antenna, which evidently was something else before, but they've got all these kits, all sorts of things, and the prices are really reasonable. I've actually ordered this power attenuator, and I'm going to put 3 together because you can stack them for fox hunting. You got a 10-watt amplifier, you've got 40 dB attenuators with switches on it, you got all sorts of stuff.
How much is that, like 10-watt amplifier?
10-watt amplifier.
What bands did it cover?
DC
40,
to
30,
light,
and
40,
20.
30, and 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Probably you'd have to build it. For the
Okay, the kit is $55.
Okay.
Not bad.
You have to order it for the band that you want to build it for.
Yeah.
It's like
Not bad.
30 and 40.
That's not bad. $10.50 a watt.
No, that looks.
No, I think
I
I
know
screwed
you've
that
got to
up, but
wind your
whatever.
own stuff,
Sure.
but you know.
No big
Well, I
deal.
say Rick has got that one. They've changed it a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know, I showed you a couple of weeks ago the other QRP Labs, who's got that 4-band digital only transmitter. We still can't get it yet, but when we can get it, I'm going to get one of those. But anyway, that was the things. I thought this might appeal to you, Joseph. I just
Yeah,
thought,
that is really cool. I might.
yeah, that's
Actually
called
get one
that's
then.
called yeah, it's but the actual address is QRP Kits. QRPKITS.com.
.com. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of stuff as well. I actually found these guys because I was looking for a solar controller. You know, about a controller for solar panels. And believe it or not, look, I found 3 for $8
Oh yeah, those are cheap.
on Amazon. Yeah, well, panels are cheap now. You can get a 50-watt panel for $30.
Ooh.
So I thought, yeah, I thought I might put 1 or 2 or something on top of the golf cart and see if I can keep the golf cart semi-charged, you know, just for fun. Not really anything legit, just because, you know, I got 36-volt golf cart, which I could split into 3 and make it charge individually, you know, 3 sets of 12 volts. There's 6-volt batteries, so there's 6 in there. So I could do two batteries at a time. I just thought it might be something, and then I was looking and I found this, and I thought, well, it's not worth making your own controller with discrete components when you can get this
Yeah, for
for
$8.
3. But anyway,
Not bad.
I'm robbing the thing.
Yeah,
so-
they got for $80 you can buy 100-watt 12-volt panels all day long on Amazon.
yeah.
$80.
Yeah, but there's something about 30. There's a perceived value in everything, isn't there? And like $30 to me, I don't mind if I buy something and it doesn't work for $30. But if I spent $80 and it didn't work, I would be a little annoyed, you know? So there's some kind of perceived value, or there's, and I guess the threshold is different for different people. But for me, $30, okay, I'll play with something for $30, you know?
They also have solar panels at Harbor Freight. Now, I don't know what they're.
Yeah, but they're up there. They're like 80,
Yeah.
80 90
They may
bucks.
be more. I don't remember.
Yeah, they're above my, you know, I'll play with and don't expect them to work threshold, you know. Because I've got really no need for one, but I thought everybody's got them. These guys that go out and do PODA and stuff.
You mean it's a small enough amount of money that Mama don't see it missing out of the account?
Yeah, so, well, no, it's not, so I don't get too
I'm just kidding. Not
yeah, I
really.
know what you mean, but I don't get too much done with that. But yeah, it's like, you know, I mean, you go out for a bar for a night and you spend $30 easily, wouldn't you? I mean, not that I go to a bar anymore, but you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
there's a figure that somewhere tucked away in my back of my head that I don't mind. I mean, they cost you $60 to fill the car up.
More like 85.
Well, yeah, but you've got a big ass Tahoe, haven't you? I've got a super. I got rid of my Tahoe and bought a Subaru. So,
Oh, what year of Tahoe did you have?
I had several. The last one was 2005.
Mine's an '04 Suburban.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
even more.
Suburban even more. So have you got the 6.2 liter or the 4.8?
Believe it's 6.2.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. It isn't there a 5.3 option?
Yeah, there is a 5.3 as
I
well.
probably have the 5.3.
Yeah, that's a big bugger. I towed a tree across a field with that, and the wheels did not spin. I'd let the car do itself. I just put it into low and everything else, 4-wheel drive, and it did it, and it didn't break a blade of grass with the wheels. That thing's got so much torque. It's unbelievable.
Probably run over Russian tanks with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
No, those things are like proper tanks. I've pulled tree stumps out of the ground with it, and
Yeah.
we used to. But back when it was our family vehicle, we did everything with that. We pulled RVs, trailers,
Yeah.
everything.
And the new ones are all plastic. It's got a real bumper. You know, you can actually fit a tow ball to that bumper
Yep.
at the back.
My dad has a 2017, I believe, Suburban, and yeah, the back bumper is made out of fiberglass.
Yeah.
And he took it off roading. He took it off roading on our land one time, and a stick, just a piece of wood off the ground, kind of got wedged up in there and tore right through it.
Ripped it all off. Yeah.
Yeah, big old crack and a hole in it. It's like, well, you could drive the old one through there, and the stick would have got some trouble happen to it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good. So, but the only problem is, like you say, you know, what was funny about mine, I could drive it like I stole it, and I'd get like 15 miles to the gallon. If I drove it like a geriatric, I'd get 16 to the gallon. 1 mile a gallon difference, you know.
I just
Yeah,
drive
that's
normal.
funny. Well, yeah, I did it like driving at 45 versus 70, like same exact
Mileage, yeah.
mileage.
Yeah, so you might as well floor it, pedal to the metal.
So drive it like a race car driver.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like your hat there, Joseph. What's that say? Yazoo.
Yay, Sue.
Yazoo.
I
went-
found,
He
Oh,
must
got
have
it.
been to the candy store.
Says Yazoo.
I found the correct way of pronouncing that.
Oh,
It's
did you?
Y-A and then a dash A and then S-U-E. So it's Yesu.
Uh-huh.
That's the correct way of pronouncing it. I'll see if I can find it. Because the other thing is, do you know what museum? Because it's Yesu Museum, isn't it? And it stands for wireless in Japanese.
Well, all I know is that Ian lives here in Yazoo City.
Yazoo City.
Yeah, that's Yazoo, though.
there you
Yazoo
go.
City.
Yazoo.
Yazoo City.
Wow. That's cool.
Well, I got this hat. I went to Gigapart's Ham Radio Day. They have a yearly event. They have a yearly event, and I made it. See, the problem was I was at work all day. No, wait, sorry, not work. It was on a Saturday. It was my mom's birthday, and the party was more important. So I didn't get out of the party until like 2:40, and the event ended at 3. So I got there like as they were wrapping everything up. So unfortunately, I missed out on most of it, but I did get to meet Mr. Ham Radio 2.0.
Oh, Jason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did get to meet him and say hi. And when he makes his video, you'll probably see me in the background. But I did, I met him, and then I went inside and see, when I wanted to go to Ham Radio Day, I had to ask one of my friends who's friends with the, I want to say, head of shipping or head of HR or something. Can't exactly remember. His name is Steve, but he, I couldn't find anywhere online what day and time this event was taking place. And so I had to go through a friend to text the guy who works at Gigaparts to find out when the event was going to happen. So I went in there and I told the Anthony, who's kind of like the manager or whatever, I told him that I had a hard time finding the time. And so as a consolation prize, he gave me the hat and this here.
Oh, wow.
The cup is pretty cool. I
Yeah.
haven't used
Wait,
it yet because I want
Can you let him know that I had an equally hard time finding that information as well?
I got a couple friends who also had a hard time. Can you anything? Well, he asked. He said, he's like, "What handheld do you have?" So I showed him my handheld. I think if I had an ICOM, he would have given me ICOM stuff
Ah,
because he must have had a couple different kinds down there.
my first HF is ICOM, and I love ICOM, and that is a great radio. But I have such respect. There you go.
There you go.
Just got this.
2730A.
Yeah, I've been to the candy store myself, the HRO candy store. The first time I bought anything from the one here in Florida, I didn't go up there, of course, but ordered it online. This, of course, is a dual band VHF, UHF, FM rig. My other FM rigs had been dying, so I thought, well, maybe it's time for a new one. So I went out and splurged and got this. So this should be fun. I haven't even had it out of the box yet. It came today.
Nice.
I'll tell you what, I'm so happy with that Anytone I bought. I've been so happy with it now that I know how to use it and everything. I'm going to buy another one in a couple weeks and put it in the van, and use that as a mobile too. And I may eventually buy me a third one to put in the bedroom next to the bed.
Yeah.
So I like to I like to be able to listen to things and participate on things in there too. So
This thing's got 1,000 memories. So I think I can get the recommended frequency list.
that radio has more memory than I do. So yeah. No.
Memory channels than it has.
Yeah, just to show you guys, you were talking earlier, we were kidding around about Mama finding out how much the radios cost. Check the one out on the right.
Yeah.
I love this. Dad, you have to come home. I can't. I'm in the hospital. No, Mom's selling your radio equipment for the price that you said you bought it for. And I saw that. I thought that was really cool. The piece of equipment on the left is $49. I've got them for sale on the store. You just go on there and buy them.
And make
What
sure
is that?
everybody checks their calendars today.
It's bull crap. It's April Fool's.
Yeah, 2 for 1 burgers, Chinese buffet, free samples at Sam's Club, Broken Town, free check, female honor, Peter. Oh boy, yeah, that one's really relatable there.
Yeah. Real relatable. Anyway, yeah,
Sam's
I
Club's
thought,
always doing free samples though.
yeah, little teeny free samples. You have to walk around for hours to get the whole meal.
You can go there for lunch. I've done it several times. They never look you in the eye. They don't know who you are. So you can just cruise around.
Come back. Just be like, ooh, what's this?
Yeah.
I walked into work tonight and we had our Employee Appreciation Day, and Chick-fil-A had come in and they had tables full of Chick-fil-A and everybody was happy with a chicken eating grin on their face. And I walk over there and there ain't nothing left but 3 fruit bowls.
Oh.
And then I walk in the other room and the sales guy's there and goes, hey, the beefsteak guy's coming at 5 o'clock for the top of the show. He's bringing you guys steak sandwiches. So I'm like, well, that makes up for the chicken right there. I got to tell you. So anyway, we met the he's got a restaurant down in Benito. What was his name?
Hello.
Yeah, I forget anyway. But there's really good stuff anyway. All right, let's see here. Joseph, did you have something else?
I have a couple things.
Yeah, I mean, besides the hat.
Yeah, the hat is only one of a few. Where to begin? Well, I guess the main thing I've been doing this week is messing with weather stations. I found on Amazon I got it for $100 because it had a $20 discount, and I also had like this other discount part of Amazon, but I got this weather station. Let me pull it up here real quick. And it's really cheap, $100. It's a 433 megahertz system. So it transmits every 15 seconds with your information. So it's no Davis or RM Young, but it is actually pretty cool. Let me share it here. This is what I got. The brand is called Sane Logic. And there's the station there. You can see it has anemometer for wind speed. It has the cups. It has a funnel for your rainfall amount. It has a little solar panel and a wind direction vane. It also has this little thing in the middle. You can't really see, it's behind the funnel, but it's like a UV sensor, so it can tell if it's cloudy or not.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know exactly how that works, but yeah, it's got a UV sensor on there and it detects if it's cloudy. So you have this little screen here, which looks exactly like this in person. This whole thing, I have been just so impressed by this. Yeah, it's $139 here, but I got this discount and there was something else there at the time. This thing has impressed me so much. I expected it to be just complete garbage because of the price, but I figured it had good reviews, so I went ahead and tried it. And it has been so cool. The system updates every 15 seconds. I have the little screen right here. And it works really, really well. Let's see if I can turn this on. So there it is. There's a screen. So you have your wind direction. I'm trying to do this backwards here. Wind direction is there, north, south, east, west. Here's your wind speed. It's currently 1.6 miles an hour is the highest recorded for this 15-second cycle. and it also has the average speed down there. Oh, just updated 0.7 miles an hour. And then you have here's like this little picture. If you hold down the button on it, it actually turns the screen to stay on. There we go. Has a little sun icon, tells you if it's cloudy or not. And then if it's like a cloudy day, then you'll have little pictures of clouds on here. And if it's windy, you'll have little like wind waves on there. Then you also have your pressure and your rainfall amount. It says 10 inches, but that's another, I'm going to tell you why it says 10 inches, because we didn't get 10 inches. And then you have indoor and outdoor.
You mount it under a sprinkler?
I mounted it on something.
You had a fire next door, and the fireman sprayed the water over there.
Well, so the sensor that detects how much it's rained is like maybe like a little tipping bucket in there or something.
Yep.
And I mounted this. Let me share my screen again here. I mounted it on the roof of the truck and parked it in the middle of the street when we had a storm coming, because at the time I did not have a better place to mount it. So it's actually mounted on the roof of the truck.
So you were probably catching spray over and stuff from the truck.
Well, okay, so there's a couple things about this. So I didn't have a good place to mount it when the storm was coming, and I really wanted to get some good readings. So I thought, okay, the truck's parked in the middle of the street. It'll probably do better than it's sticking to the side of the house. So I put it on here, and I got the highest recorded gust is 50 miles an hour. We got a good fair bit of wind. The problem is that you're not supposed to put these on vehicles, because if you're that close to the roof, it does not do well. Apparently, there are all kind of vortexes and just inaccurate readings that you get from it being on the roof of a truck.
Just the rain splashing back up off the roof is gonna put additional rainfall in the thing.
Well, I highly doubt that. I mean, look how high it is. It's about a foot off.
Depending on how hard the rain is.
I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, it's
It's just duct taped on there with some foam tape and duct tape. And so I had it out during the storm, and I got some cool readings, and I recorded, I think, about 2 inches of rain, maybe a little bit more. I can't exactly remember because I was up late when I saw it, but about 2 inches of rain, recorded the wind and everything. I thought that was cool. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to leave it on the roof because I wanted to drive to the office and get some readings there. Because the office is kind of like on a little hill, and there's always just this really strong wind in the back. So I thought I'd go ahead and measure it. And I did today and yesterday too. And it was pretty cool. This little thing, all I had to do was take the little receiver with me into the office and just set it on the table. And then I had weather. So it's not accurate at all because it is on the roof, and you're apparently like the National Weather Service, when they actually want a mobile vehicle with an anemometer, they actually mount it like 5 or 6 feet above the hood.
Right.
So they have this whole jig, this whole frame thing they build, and it goes out in front of the truck so they can get unmessed up wind readings. But it did work. And then when I was driving down the road, it didn't come off the roof, and it measured, however fast I was going, plus or minus a little bit, depending on if I had a headwind or a tailwind. So it does work on the roof of a car, and I had it here sitting on top of a hat so I could read it while I was driving. There you can see I was going 70, but it was reading 83 because I had a pretty significant headwind there. And of course, your direction is going to be forwards the whole time. So I thought that was pretty neat. I enjoyed playing around with this, and now I have it. Let me bring up the other video that I took earlier. I have it mounted somewhere else now, which is a little bit better. There's no good place to mount this at our house just because we're in a neighborhood with stuff all around. But I put it on a 10-foot PVC pipe and just kind of stuck at the corner of our fence on the edge of our property. And the house is definitely going to block all the wind, and here you can see a bigger view of it. The houses next door, the line of houses, the big field next door, it's all going to be inaccurate as possible, but it's still cool. It's good for local measurements. So
now, do you power that, or how does it work?
So you put 3 AA's in there, and it also has the solar panel. So during the day, it'll run off the solar panel, and then at night, it'll use the batteries. And apparently, you only have to change the batteries like once every 2 years or something.
That's about like my Davis. It's got the same idea. And it looks a lot like that. It's the Vantage. It's the
Right.
what do they call it? I forget the name of it, but it's got everything's in one thing. I've got it mounted 15 feet above the ground in front of the house. So
Yeah, that's a good spot. 15 feet above the ground. It's just
Yeah.
hard to get, like, it's really hard. I was looking at, like, how to actually install one of these. And everyone was just like, don't put it near this, don't put it near that, put it here, put it here. And I was like, what am I'm not a, what do you want from me? It was so many requirements if you wanted actual readings.
yeah,
That I just
and-
went
and
and
the-
forget it.
they
the
put
truth-
here supposedly 33. The anemometers are supposed to go 30 feet up, 3 feet above the ground. Well,
I was just going to say that's the thing. Every foot you go up to about 35 feet, every foot you go up, you're going to pick up another half a mile an hour, a mile an hour, as you go up. So there is a standard for like the National Weather Service ones. They're all supposed to be roughly the same height, but because that makes a big difference. It really, if you put it up at 80 feet or 100 feet up in the air, man, you'd be surprised. It's 30 mile an hour winds all the time up there, man.
You're going to have a hurricane all the time.
Yeah.
That high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, sorry, go ahead.
I missed half of that. Sorry. Does it record the info so you can see what yesterday was, or?
Well, it doesn't have so it transmits on 433 megahertz, which means you can use a RTL SDR to record the data.
Yeah.
And I might show that in a minute, actually, because it's pretty cool. But you can record the data with that. And if there's actually a program somebody's already made that just takes whatever fields you want and logs them and gives you a graph. So you can do that. There's also that WWX software. I think it was you who told me about that, Rick.
Yeah, I told you.
And that I have determined is far too complicated for me to set up because there's no guides on how to do it. And I'd pretty much be on my own with that. But you can do that. And also the little receiver has a maximum minimum setting. So you can view whatever the maximum value was. And for like rainfall, I can change it from like 1 hour to 24 hours to a week or a month. You can set different time spans for it to give you data on. So you have options, but it doesn't have like a built-in logging system, unfortunately. But you can kind of add that yourself if you really want it.
Okay. Does it say what the maximums are that it'll tolerate, like the maximum wind speed and stuff?
I believe it said somewhere in here it reads up to 120 miles an hour.
Okay.
It definitely reads up to about 80. I drove it. I put it on the roof of the truck and drove it down the road at 70 miles an hour, and it read 87. I think is the highest I saw. But
at 120 miles an hour, it flies.
Yeah. That's when it's gone.
Yeah.
But I'm also excited for this, not just because it's cool, but if I want to make my own anemometer, which I really wanted to do before I bought this one, was make my own. I didn't have anything to calibrate it against. But now I can take the big old shop fan that we have and build my own wind tunnel and calibrate my own custom thing. I'm thinking about 3D printing something with like those really free spinning bearings and some Hall effect sensors and magnet, something like that. And I'd actually have something calibrated against. So that would be pretty
interesting.
So what was the name again? I missed it because.
Here we go. Let me. The brand is called Sane Logic, and it has a model number here. This is what I got. Sane Logic wireless weather station. It has a actual model number. I can find it here. I forget what it is. It's like W something.
Probably WX something or other.
I did search for it recently.
While you're looking for that, I'll tell you guys an interesting story. You guys know I responded the morning after Hurricane Andrew down to Florida City and spent weeks down there. One of the neat things that came out of Hurricane Andrew was, if you guys remember when it first made landfall, they said it was a 155 mile an hour storm. If you remember, they went back and they said, they came back later and said, no, in fact, it was a 175 mile an hour storm when it made landfall. And the northern eye wall went right over the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida. and the weather station read 156 miles an hour when it became detached from the roof.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
there you
funny.
go. And that was a government one, but
how
it
you
was
know it's-
probably a little hardier than the ones we're talking about. But yeah, they all have a tolerance, and I would be tempted to leave mine up during a hurricane, but then I'm also tempted to save it, because
Oh, I'd be leaving it up for sure.
I would have to leave it up. I know I'd sacrifice it. I would.
Yeah, me
It's only
too.
$100. I'd sacrifice it.
Well, it has a little.
I do my best to keep it safe too. If I could find a place to put it away from everything. Now that I don't have trees in my yard, I can actually like put stuff up and leave it up. But
Put up a weather station if you wanted to.
It has little.
I'm going to put up one. I haven't bought it yet. I'm going to do it.
me
It's
too.
on my list. It's one of those things. It's one of those 6 or 8 $100 expenditures that I've got on the list.
That's my.
Oh yeah. You could secure this thing to survive a hurricane. I think the little post that they give you is pretty sturdy, and it has a mounting bracket, and that thing it has little nuts that go through it, a nut
Right.
and bolt, and it's pretty solid. I think. I mean, can't
You
say
have
for
to
sure.
remember, it's not just the gust of the wind; it's the debris that's in the wind that takes it out.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, if it gets hit by a plank of wood,
You got
then yeah,
to.
it's
That's why
fine.
I'm saying if you get the higher you get it, the more you get it out of debris, but you get it up in more wind.
I well remember the flying grapefruit of Hurricane Donna.
Oh yeah. My mother lived through Donna down here in '60.
Yeah, and that
They-
thing grapefruit. Of course, you think Atlanta Braves pitcher is something else again. Ain't nothing compared to that.
Donna was the opposite of Charlie. Donna was a big storm. Charlie was a small storm. But Donna sat over Fort Myers had hurricane force winds for I think 26 or 28 hours.
I don't know if it was that long, but it was a good.
It was a long time, and because the storm literally just crawled over the area.
It moved very slowly, but it was very strong, very big.
And there was people. The start of the day, and the hurricane force winds started, and the next day when they got up, they were ending. So you're talking about a long day. Where Charlie, they had it destroyed Punta Gorda. They had hurricane force winds for about maybe 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
Yeah.
It was just right through, So
Charlie thought he was a tornado.
He did. It was a little tornado is what it was. But yeah, definitely. So that's the neat thing with weather stations is I'm always torn on whether I'm going to leave it up or take it down. But I'm sure I would. Excuse me. I'm sure I would leave it up.
Well, yeah. I mean, with antennas, it's one thing. I'd want to leave those up too because you could talk to people during a hurricane. But at the same time, you might kind of want to save those. But a weather station, if I can get a cool high max high reading, I think it's worth the money. I mean, maybe if I had a 1.3K RM Young. The really, really nice anemometer. Well, see, those would survive though, because those are designed for they have heavy duty versions and stuff. That's what the professional storm chasers use. So that thing I'd probably leave up too. But
I'd kind of like to have one of the ones like they put on the Dorothy, which is the thing they put out in the middle of the plains to look at the tornadoes. That would probably be a pretty damn hardy anemometer.
That thing would be beefy. Set that out in the path of the hurricane.
That'd be the thing to have around here, even for hurricanes.
Yep.
Those things are full of concrete and stuff. What do they do? It's like a buoy that they've
yeah, it would be interesting to find out.
Sure would.
Yeah, those buoys are something else. How a buoy can be out there in the sea, collecting its own power, anchored somehow to the bottom of the ocean, and reporting 39-foot seas.
I don't know.
How the hell's that thing still holding together, man?
They're badass.
I'm telling you. Yeah, we call that brick shit house.
Yeah.
That's oh my God, yeah. But yeah, that's something else.
Amazing.
So they do an upgraded model to yours as well. I'm just looking.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's called, I can't see the number, but it's $179, but it's internet wireless.
Oh yeah, those can report to. Here we go. I found it.
Oh, I like that.
They have an app and they do Wi-Fi and they can.
Yeah, it comes on your phone. Yeah, but I want one that records the info. But like you say, Put an SDR on it or something. So how
Yeah.
big's the pole? Because what I'm thinking is I could actually mount it to my lanai and maybe get away with it with the HOA.
Oh yeah. It's well, the little pole it comes with is only about a foot long. I have a picture here. I
fine.
have. Let
That's
me
not enough. Yeah, I'd need something that'd be 4 or 5 feet because I want to get above the
well,
top of
that's
the
that's
lanai.
why I put mine on an extension. I put mine on a bit of PVC. Let me pull up the picture I have of the actual unit here.
Homeowners associations, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Hate
Yeah,
them people.
weather station, give me a break.
You need to try like a Jedi mind trick on them or something.
Yeah, but the trouble is, you
These-
see, I don't want to piss them off for something like this.
No, you
So,
do something
okay.
like this. You walk up and go, "These are not the antennas you're looking for."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I've got other stuff I don't want them to find. You know.
Yeah, I know.
It's like I don't want to die for
The
for
decoy.
This.
The decoy.
The decoy. Yeah.
I lived in a homeowners association. When I moved in, it was cool. It was a bunch of plumbers on the board. But it was slowly taken over by people from up north. And next thing you know, everybody on the board's old. And next thing you know, all our vehicles are outlawed. Our animals are outlawed. Our solar dishes are outlawed. Our antennas are outlawed. They even tried to outlaw my fire department staff vehicle. That didn't go well for them.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Shut up,
bastards all.
Fun.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they move from up north down here because they like it down here and they don't like it up north, and then they try to change down here for what it is up north.
They
Well,
come
like
down
we-
here
like
and
we
they
say
wanna
on the
tell you
radio-
how it is up north.
Like we say on the radio all the time, we want you to come down here. You're welcome down here. Do not vote down here like you did up there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's right. And I won't take it any further.
Well-
It's different down here because we vote different down here. Thank you very much. I'm not going any further than that.
Yes,
Yeah.
no politics, but that's basically the truth. So.
Well, what's interesting is this more expensive one has actually got a $50 saving on it. So that brings it down to the same price as the other one without the $20 saving.
Maybe if we keep going up, we can save it all.
Well, maybe they'll pay us to take it off them.
That's what I'm hoping. I mean, that's my logic. Is it working for anybody else?
Yeah, best of luck with that. Let us know. Write your results on a $20 note and pass it to me. I'm tempted. I can't see when you apply this coupon. Yeah, okay. And I get 5% back because I use an Amazon card. Oh, I'm tempted. But all I got to do is find out what OS the software works on.
All you really have to do is hit that button.
No, because I don't want to buy it if it only works.
Then you'll find out for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it looks like in the picture, it looks like it's running on a Mac, but it's probably just a stock image with it's
It doesn't
photoshopped in.
say.
Well, what's the software called? If we can find out the name of the software, the WS290C. Oh, I have another thing to talk about in a minute whenever we have a break here.
Let's just keep on going here because, you missed it, Joseph. I'll say it real quick one more time. I got up at 4 a.m. I produced the entire morning show this morning. Then I came home and did the newsletter. Then I did this show, pre-show, and then I did pre-show for the afternoon show. And then I produced the afternoon show, and then I came home and produced this show.
Wow.
So I've been producing SSOB all day long. And I'm really tired right now, and my back hurts and everything. But I'm hanging in there. I do have fun with you guys every week. I got to
Even
admit.
if you have a 7-foot-high hex bait.
Yeah. Look, man, I could probably put this hex beam in the house and it would work.
Yeah, I played with mine. I had it only about 5 feet above the ground, and I was able to make contacts with it. I think California and various other places. Nothing real super esoteric, but I didn't try it for that long. But I was still able to make contacts with it nearly on the ground like that. So they do work.
I had a neighbor walk up and ask me the other day, so is that for contacting aliens?
Yeah, they always say that, don't they?
I said, yeah, and I think I've gotten a couple, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then I got, we had a situation down the street. I'll tell you guys a crazy story, an absolutely crazy story. And while I'm doing that, I'll pull up the video. Some jerk, I'll say jerk because I don't like to use like words like asshole on here. But some jerk went down and burned out my neighbor's house. His
Wow.
brother,
Oh my
his
gosh.
brother called him up. Somebody called him up and said, your dad's house just got all the windows busted out of it. So he jumped in his car and went to his dad's house. His brother walks around the corner and burns his house down. So yeah, you talk about some folks that aren't getting along. I've heard
Isn't
my
this
brother and
the-
I don't get along. We've never burned
God,
each
I'd hate for this family to have nuclear weapons.
I know.
They'd
Yeah,
blow us
yeah.
all to hell.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. So let me pull this up here. So anyway, what happened was while I'm pulling this up to give you guys the basic rundown was oh crap, where did all that go? I have a hard time talking and trying to find things at the same time. I think I put it here under pictures. So my wife calls me at work last week, one day, Wednesday or whatever it was. She says the neighbor's house is on fire. Oh my God. So I'm like, really? She says, yep, it's on fire. I was like, okay. So I told her, I said, which neighbor? She told me. I said, okay, I got a camera shooting right over there. I said, go out in the shed and turn my tower cam over that way too. So she ran out here in the shed and she swung my tower cam around so I could get the rest of the incident on the tower cam, there it is right there. So we did. And I'm going to show you guys the actual footage from the fire.
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, what the hell, right? I'll just show you guys. I don't give a crap. And there's even sound, which I'll mute for right now. But let's see here. Let's turn this over to share screen. This is my look down the street here, and that's my neighbor's house right there. See that it's ours is these are all park models over here. But over here are older trailers, like 70s, 80s model trailers over here on that side of the street. That's my neighbor's house. It's a single wide trailer, so it went up pretty quick. At some point during the day, this jerk that you see walking down the street in the video right there, that guy burns down this house right here in just about 5 minutes.
Wow. Did you give this to the cops?
Oh yeah, I gave it to the cops. I even made a whole email and showed him all his pictures and everything. I don't really care. This is going on YouTube right now. I really don't care about that either.
Is his last name Sherman?
Yeah. So anyway, down later on in the video, he comes walking out over there, trying to get where I need to go in the video here. Hold on.
Oh, this is really cool.
Yeah, hold on. Give me just 1 second here. Let me pull this up over here, and I'll show you this too. But this is actually rolling right now, and
Oh shit!
Yeah, so I'm going to go back
just smoke.
Yep, I'm going to go back just a little bit here, and this is just before the fire.
There's a cat.
Yeah, that's Onyx. That's my cat.
Where's the cat? I didn't see the cat.
It was in the bottom right.
Ah.
He's gone now. Wow, he sure did set that place on fire.
Yeah.
I can see the smoke just starting there.
There he is.
Oh, he is.
Fine guy.
And literally, if I let this run, in about 1 minute, the smoke starts coming out of the roof.
Yeah, let it run.
He's
not even rushing.
Deal? Guess he figures if he acts nonchalant, no one will suspect it too.
Yeah, except my high definition cameras.
Yeah, except for this.
And by the way,
there's the cat.
Yeah, he actually said something to my cat. You can hear him.
Frightened him. Yeah. Wow.
So
now we're waiting for the smoke.
He set the house on fire and walks away.
But there could have been somebody in there. He could have killed somebody or the pets. What an ass.
There was 2 pets locked in the house. Neighbors came over and busted the windows and got the pets out during the fire.
Thank Lord for that.
So
Yeah, so I hope they're going to lock him up for a good long time.
well, last time I looked, arson is definitely against the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only against the law, but it's a felony in every form.
That's right.
There is no misdemeanor arson.
No.
No. And nor should there be.
No.
Oh, your cat's coming back.
Wow. You're kitty, kitty, kitty.
Now, he lived.
Which one of that? You got like 90 or something, haven't you?
I've got 12. That's odd. That cat right there was left in that home when the crackheads moved out. When they were evicted out of that crackhead home right there, that cat was left there. She's a sweetheart. We took her in. She still goes over there at least once a day and checks things out and comes back.
See if there's any coke scratching she can pick up, yeah.
Look, she's a good cat. She did not deserve to have that life, and we've been trying our best with her. She's very tame, and she loves on us, and she hangs out with us, but she still, to this day, is a little skittish, and she's just not right. Anyway, at this point, you can see it's been a full minute, and
you can just see the smoke coming up now. There it is.
There it is.
Don't pull it. Okay, so move forward like 5 minutes and let's see what it looks like.
So we're talking probably about a minute, maybe. Now, these things go up quick.
Yeah.
This was actually started. There was a couch on a porch out front. It was like an old couch they would just sit on out there, and he actually lit that on fire. The fire started outside the house. That's why it kind of starts slow here. But then the moment that it actually gets going, man, it takes off. It's like crazy.
Explodes. Was it windy? It's
No.
been windy here lately.
But this was Wednesday. It was day before the wind. Tuesday. It was Tuesday or Wednesday.
So if you want to get your numbers up, change the title of this. And I guarantee you'll have a lot of viewers.
Burns down house.
I could list this on video, house fire, live, But the truth is, by the way, that guy is the landlord that bought these 2, cleaned them up, and kicked everybody out. So this not a bad guy. But he pulled his truck up because he didn't want it under these trees in case it started going across here and burning everything up.
Yeah.
He pulled his truck up, called 911, and then he ran over there to make sure everything was out. And then all of a sudden, the neighbors over here see it. They all start running over. They get the dog out.
Yeah.
2 dogs out.
Here they come.
Yeah, there's the neighbors. There's all the help coming to get the dogs out. You can see flames at this point, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow, I should have started with this tonight. This is good.
You should have. Yeah, this is really good. This is, wow, look at that smoke now.
Yeah, it's got up in the house now. It's not just that couch burning anymore. It's up in the house.
This is starting to look like Ukraine.
I feel bad. I feel bad. The guy that owns that house just drove by in his truck. I see him on the cameras. He's heading down there to see what else he can get out of it.
Yeah.
He's been working on it. He lost pretty much everything. There's always some things you can salvage, but most things are gone. Luckily, I'm going to tell you guys something. If there's something you really like, don't put it in the top shelf of your closet. Put it in the bottom drawer of your dresser.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. And if you're leaving town, put your guns in the oven.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes. Who's this?
A gun that was hidden in the oven has never been found. And, there's a lot of neat things like that.
Well, yeah,
it's
you're a
like
firefighter, so you know all the places.
Hiding place.
Yeah. Yeah, my family, my mother has had a big jewelry box up on it right inside the door of her bedroom in plain view. It's got all fake jewelry in it. all of her real jewelry's in a zipper bag down underneath all her clothes in the bottom drawer.
I like that. That's
You
great.
don't ever put your diamonds in a jewelry box. I mean, you just don't do it. Not that my mom has a lot of diamonds, but the few she has, she wants to keep. Yeah, so.
Oh, there's some kind of creature running away.
Yeah, I look like a rabbit.
Yeah.
Or might be another one of Ian's cats.
Oh, wow. Look at the flames.
Now we can see the flames. Wow.
Is this the blue or is this the one behind it? The blue trailer?
It's not. There's really not a blue trailer. See the blue, the green
Whatever.
Jeep, bluish
Yeah.
green Jeep.
Yeah, I see that.
It's the house right behind that Jeep. It's
the
not the house. It's not this house here.
No.
Okay, it's this one here.
Okay.
It's actually the one that's on fire. And there's a little porch behind this tree that had a couch on it, and that's what he lit. The reason you can't see that little porch is because it's behind the corner of this house.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess that, wow.
Man, the smoke is black.
So how long does it take for the blues and twos to turn up?
Well, the cops get here in about another minute. There's my wife. The cops get here. My wife on the phone with 911. No, she's on the phone with me at this point. And I'm like, oh my God, really? Go turn my camera quick. And by this point, I'm watching the fire at work while I'm on the air.
Oh, you got your cameras pulled up?
Oh, yeah.
Now, what's this? This is like the bunny, the fire bunny turned up on her three-wheeler.
What is that?
Look, I live in a poor neighborhood, so you never know who's going to come walking down your street.
It's another cat.
Can I tell you guys something, honest to God? I prefer my neighbors to the ones I had in my middle-class neighborhood, so there you go.
Yeah.
We own this house. We own our cars. We own everything. I own nobody nothing. And I would rather live in a modular home in a less than perfect neighborhood with poor neighbors that all look out for each other and care about each other and look after each other's places. I'm friends with every one of my neighbors. The only ones we didn't get along with were the crackheads in these two houses, and they're gone.
Yeah, and you got rid of
My
them.
neighbors to the left, all my neighbors all the way around. I get along with all of them.
Yeah.
This guy across the street over here, we're good friends with Richie. I mean, all these guys are my friends. We even knew these people. And
So what's the long-term story? What did they do in the end? I guess someone found them, social services found them somewhere to live or something.
I don't know. I know they said they had a place to stay.
Because that's devastating, isn't it? I mean, that's everything gone.
You know, you don't realize how important things are until you lose everything. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you hear people say, well, at least you got your health, at least you survived, at least, but I don't have none of my shit. You know, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Look at that smoke billowing up now.
This is as bad as
There's the fire.
Yeah,
fire
the
guys.
First fire truck arrives, the cops arrive. That's the first fire truck and the first cop arriving.
So how long was that for them to respond? That was like
35. Let me see. When was the first smoke seen? And I'll show you guys this email here in just a minute. The first smoke was seen at 6:23:04. It's 35 now, so it was about 10 minutes probably.
wow.
Probably 8 or 9 minutes. 8 minutes from the time the first call was placed. That's about right. They're about 5 miles away, plus 2 minutes to get 10-8. You know, that's about what it takes.
That's what they say, isn't it?
Everybody wants to think their fire department's going to get to their house in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that only happens at Disney.
Yeah.
It's Fantasyland. Okay. There's engine one, WYK 560, North Fort Myers Fire Department.
That's what they say, isn't it? You know, when seconds count, the police are only minutes away.
Yep.
That's why you want to be on.
That's the bumper sticker for the concealed weapons permit, I think.
It is, yeah. I'm sure it is, you know. But it's true, though, you know.
I think the NRA puts that out.
Yeah. By the way, Georgia now will have constitutional carry. What's happening in Florida?
Yeah, I'm waiting. I can't wait till Georgia and Florida's reciprocity is all worked out. I think it is now, but I'm not sure. I haven't researched it in a while.
Well,
Here's
I know
Bubba. Bubba's
my
turned up.
Georgia license was good down here.
Bubba.
Well, something was burning, so I didn't have time to put shoes on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down here because I guarantee you, when they're busy with a fire, they don't bother running you for warrants.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I say round here. A lot of people run around on bikes all the time. And I say it's not because they're trying to stay fit. It's because they've all got DUIs.
Oh, here comes the bunny lady with her
Oh
little.
yeah, with their little.
She's got her salvaged baby basketball court thing in the back.
Man, it's like every neighbor is like some kind of character.
Yeah, I love them. You gotta love them.
Dude, every neighbor up here is a character. Why do you think I have lights and cameras and dogs and guns, and I have everything but a 50 caliber out my kitchen window?
Oh, do you want to buy one? I go. Oh, look, there's someone trying to take your fence out.
No, she lives here.
Oh,
How's that door gonna open?
That's one of the guys that lives in the house. He's parked his car and he's running in. It's gone, dude. I hate to say it, man. And it's arson. And that's what sucks. What sucks to me the worst is this didn't have to happen.
no.
You know what I mean? It happened because some jerk lit it on fire,
You mean
Do you
but
have a
anyway.
tower cam?
Yeah, let me pull up. I figured you guys want to see the tower cam. Let's pull that up.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's actually after the fire. Let me pull the one up before that. Ooh, what happened?
The Russians steal it.
Probably.
I mean, this is late in the hour. I wonder what happened. It only got the last 8 minutes of the hour.
Well, does it not break up every file into?
No, it's just makes one big ass file.
Oh, well, is it the one before it? That one's only 48 kilobyte. Nope.
Yeah, that's a little teeny short video there. Yeah, something happened. I lost that video. I'm going to go back and see if I can recompile that.
Well, is
I
it
swear
one
I
of the,
did-
is it the ones at the top here where you can where it's facing its original direction?
It's Cape.
Isn't it?
It's camera 8 is what it is. Camera 8.
Camera 8 is tower cam. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I got to go back and figure out what happened because I have this. You can see the roof's gone.
The holes in the roof. Wow.
Yeah. This thing will make you seasick on a windy day.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
It's up on a PVC pipe
yeah.
and up on my rotor, and it's going to come down a little bit and not be near as shaky once I redo it. It's a good view, though, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
I can spin this 360 degrees. The only thing I don't like about it is the camera's crooked, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
My ADD, I'm having ADD overload on the fact that camera's crooked.
Yeah, I hate that when people take photographs and they got sloping horizons,
Yeah. I hate sloping horizons.
Yeah. Well, I'm here with my head cocked over, looking at all your pictures.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you guys a little thing. This is what I sent. This is because I used to do this for a living. I was a fire investigator at one time. So I wrote them a letter and explained to them everything I saw, what I found, what I did. Here's the guy walking in, how he came into the area, how he's talking to himself and saying, F that guy, I'm going to F that guy, all the way down the road. But I didn't say fudge. And then he walks up and talks to the lawnmower guy briefly. I don't know what he said there. And then look at this. Did I not do their job for him?
Yeah, you did.
I bet he never thought that he'd be dealing with a former firefighter.
Yeah, well,
But he never thought he'd be on YouTube.
the cops showed up and said, your husband's the one that sent the email in, right? And she says, yeah. And he goes, you tell him thank you very much for that email.
Oh, yeah.
The government never says thank you. So anyway,
He's going to find out who Amira Fox is.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think you deserve a medal.
Yeah, and then here he
Or
goes.
the key to the city.
And there he is leaving.
There we go. So all you didn't see was him
Arsonist.
light the match.
Yep, and then there's the first smoke. And I got written right here. First smoke was at 6:23:04. He walked off the property at 6:21:30. We're talking 94 seconds.
That's about right. Wow. So I guess he's,
Has he been
as
arrested?
we'd say in England, at his Majesty's pleasure.
He was picked up yesterday on a warrant for felony arson.
Good.
That's all I know so far. They are going to charge him with some stuff. I don't know what. I know
Hopefully
arson's
the
among
Vice
it.
President won't come bail him out.
Yeah, there you go. It was just one house.
Yeah.
It was just a little fire that got big.
Yeah, right. It could have become a huge brush fire and
Yeah.
caused a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, and it could have, taken out people and animals and, half the neighborhood, to be honest.
As much as I think our cops have gotten a little crazy lately, you got to have them, and they got to be out there doing their thing. And you got to, I'll be honest with you, I'm not much on the chump stuff. I don't think cops should be out there spending all day pulling people over for stupid traffic violations and writing parking tickets, and all the time that our government spends on petty bullcrap when we've got literally only a 27% solve rate on murders in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
And they're all out tonight writing tickets on radar guns.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's a real problem in today's society, that all the cops want to do is go out and write tickets. They don't want to investigate crimes and do the hard stuff anymore. That's what bugs me. But that being said, things like arson, that's a serious crime. And I will help the cops every time I can to put some jerk in jail for that. I was a fire arson investigator myself. I was a fire marshal at Bayshore for a while. I was a fire inspector. I actually went to fire inspector school in Ocala and got my fire inspection certificate from the Ocala Fire College. And I despise people that destroy like that. I despise people that crawl up a water tower and paint their sister's name on it. That's bad enough. But to burn down somebody's house, absolutely, to me, is the worst. Anyway, if you're just joining us, Lee, he tunes in and he's like, they're having a discussion about arson. I don't know what the hell's going on. These guys are crazy.
This is worth rewatching tomorrow.
No,
Yeah.
okay, I'll do that.
After breakfast.
Yeah, my neighbor's house burned down. Yeah, my neighbor's house burned down. It was an arson fire, and I not only caught the arsonist, but I caught the fire on high def, and I showed it a little while ago. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he got arrested yesterday, and he's going to be prosecuted for it. So, arson,
Super.
by the way, for you guys, arson, I don't know how many of you guys were in public safety, but you might know this. Arson is one of, if not the hardest crime to actually get a successful prosecution on.
Really?
You almost have to watch the guy light the match. I mean, it is a hard fire or a hard crime to prosecute. However, I have something that I never had in any of my cases that I worked years ago. High definition camera footage of the guy coming and going out of the place right when the fire happened. I literally have him walking away 94 seconds before the smoke starts coming out of my neighbor's roof.
I would say he has been implicated in the crime.
Yeah, you're definitely a suspect, just a wee bit. Okay, but yeah, so we put that on. It's a slow night. Joseph had a few things. Dave had a few things. That's all going to be on the tape too on YouTube tomorrow. And check that stuff out too. But anyway,
one more thing too.
Yeah, well, go ahead because we're not done.
All right. So we've talked about SDR applications, completely different, to change subjects completely here. We've talked about SDR applications before. You have SDR Sharp, you have GQRX and SDR Console, and then the new one, which was SDR++, We did show that a little while ago, and that's a pretty good piece of software. I still use it, and it's been great. They recently released it for Android devices.
Oh, wow.
And this is huge because all the previous SDR applications for Android had like weird waterfall settings, and it was just not a real great user experience. But they actually ported it to Android. And let me tell you, it works so well. And you just go to the GitHub. I actually have it pulled up here. I'll show you in a second. But you go to the GitHub, you download the APK file and install it. And it's literally SDR++ running on your phone. And all the menus and everything like this, you can oh, there's a little scroll button here on the side. The interface is a little bit weird. You have to like touch the little sliders and everything to use it. And certain things are hard to do. Like if you want to resize the waterfall, it can take a few tries to get right on the little line you have to get on. But the cool thing is, I picked up one of these cables. One end is USB Type-C and the other end is micro USB. And I have this little thing here. Some of you may know what that is, ACRF1. And I can, with this cable, plug one end into here and plug the other end into my Galaxy S10 here. And it actually supports HackRF. It supports a bunch of, it supports a lot. I'll show you in a second the list of devices it supports.
You're making me jealous.
And then here we go. There's our waterfall filling in slowly and everything, running off a HackRF. So you can buy a Porta Pack for the HackRF, which is about $100 or so. And it kind of gives you a similar functionality. Actually, the Porta Pack gives you a lot more stuff because it can transmit and do replays, and it has a ton of functionality. But for a budget sort of system, it actually powers the HackRF off the device. So your battery will drain faster while you're using it. But everything here works. I can drag the waterfall around and retune here. You can see the frequency changing there as I retune.
I wish they'd make a cable. Do they make a cable that will charge your device and your phone at the same time, like a Y cable?
Yeah, they do. You can get a, well, it doesn't look quite like this, but what it is it plugs into the phone and then it breaks out into a standard USB connection. Like,
so you can remote power.
It breaks out into this.
Yeah.
And then you can plug in, like this is just a standard micro USB. I also have a regular cable, but I just bought this coily one because it was a lot simpler to use. You can get an adapter where you can just plug any USB device into your phone and charge at the same time.
Hey,
So there's that.
When he started saying this is huge, I couldn't help but think of a certain car dealer, God rest his soul. Say, this is huge, Caroline.
It's huge, Caroline.
Yeah, and you get a 42-inch TV free.
Yeah, and a cruise.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, the cruise. I forgot that.
I don't know if you guys know it or not, but he died.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I
Yeah,
was saying.
he's dead.
It was like 58.
And
wasn't
you
it?
know
Was
what?
it very
Can I
old?
tell you? Excuse me, Joseph. Let me sidebar for a second.
Sure.
I hated that, man, because I hated those cheesy effing commercials. Can I say that? I hated those things so bad. Caroline, I believe it was buy the car, Caroline. And it was like fat and drunk all over the place, and I couldn't stand it. And then I don't know, something happened. I realized one day, I read an article about him. I read his biography. He's one hell of a businessman.
Yeah.
Man, he built a mecca there. You have no idea. Go look at that place. It's the biggest car lot in the county. It's huge.
I thought it was the biggest car lot in Florida. It's certainly the biggest Kia or whatever it is dealer in Florida.
And you should see his one in Wesley Chapel. It's just as big. I'm telling you guys, so I, as much as I hated his advertising, I have an entrepreneurial respect for that man. It's pretty good. Pretty strong.
Well, somebody once said, you never lost a fortune underestimating the American public.
That's right.
You got to think about it for a second. But you know.
I don't want to think about it too long. I'm trying to
it
find.
might explain our current political morass.
Well, Joseph, let me. I don't know if you were done yet, but it doesn't matter because you still have the floor. But I wanted to ask you a question while I'm in the middle of my second interruption. I wanted to ask if there was. I wanted to take my SDR Sharp, and I've got a USB 3 to USB adapter, and it says that it's so that you can hook up USB stuff to the phone, right?
Right.
I've tried it on 5 different phones and it doesn't work. And I went and did some reading, and most phones it says won't provide enough power to an SDR Sharp. It's an issue with some phones because they're not set up to provide that power coming out. So what I found online, like I was talking to you, I found something online that you can plug into your phone and plug into your SDR Sharp, and then power it with a third plug. It's like like an octopus or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, and so that I was thinking about. That's what I was considering a while back. What I really, really, really want to do is take my tablet and make a portable receiver out of it.
Yeah.
And just have my nice big 50-inch fold-up antenna literally connected to a bracket that's on the back of it, and have the SDR Sharp mounted on there, and have a little tablet that's literally a receiver that I can just sit on the table, and the antenna comes up from the top of it, and it's ready to go.
Well, I did a similar project with a Raspberry Pi recently, but so how do you know that your phone does not put out enough current? Like what's the...
Well, from what I read, some of the phones, I actually found things that said that phone does not have that in it. You have to get a nice phone like your S10 or something will do it. But
it doesn't have to be that. Even any modern, from what I've seen, any modern phone, not a super nice one, but any modern phone should be able to power something off its socket. But if you know the exact... Okay, so if we start from the beginning, what happens when you plug it in and you have your SDR Sharp or your SDR app running on the device? Just nothing happens? It doesn't recognize it?
No, it doesn't it can't find it. It never finds it.
So how...
It's not powering it up. And it could be the little adapter I have. The adapter came with my S8 phone.
Then it should absolutely be working.
It should work on the S8 phone. The problem is I don't have that S8 phone anymore. It quit.
Right.
I damaged it after a couple of years, and I got rid of it. But I have my 2 Note 5s. I have my JT31, whatever it is. I've got this Alcatel here. I tried it. And I've got another one. I've been trying different ones. I even tried my tablet, which has a different kind of USB plug, but I tried it too.
And you tried a bunch of different devices and none of them worked.
I think what I need to do is I think it's the plug I'm using. I need to get the right plug. I need to get a plug that will plug in, that will do what I need it to do.
Well,
basically.
What does your plug, what is it? Is it USB to micro USB, or like what does it look like? Because if you tried a bunch of different devices and it didn't work, that would suggest to me that you have something software side incorrectly set up.
What about a USB-C docking station? Think
that could work too. That could work too. Oh, that you would pull a lot more current than other things.
Yeah, but it would provide its own. It probably has its own power supply. I mean, you get these USB-C docking stations for laptops.
I don't know if they would work with them,
but at least it could provide its own power, so you don't have to rely on the phone for power. I'm just trying to come up with, just a means to do that without having to rely on the phone. So I don't know if that works or not.
When you
try
on your Android device, Ian, what do you have installed? SDR Touch? Is that what you're trying to use?
It's been a long time since I played with it, and I've given you everything I know. I remember. I tried this literally like a year ago when I got my first SDR Sharp, and I don't even know if I have that little plug anymore. I'm not even sure where that's at. I looked through my drawer for that, and I don't see it.
Okay.
So I think the bottom line is, rather than spending 20 minutes trying to diagnose something and I don't even have anymore, I think I just need to buy the right cable.
Well, Also, make sure if you're doing it on the device, you need the RTL. You need the RTL SDR driver, and it's an app that you get in the Play Store, and it's got a little like gray icon with little like Wi-Fi bars is what it looks
Oh.
like, and it's called SDR or RTL SDR driver. You need that to use it with all of the different, because there's SDR Touch, and the driver is made by the person who made SDR Touch, but the driver
Right.
works with all the other pieces of software. So SDR++, and the other app that's good is also called, I think it's called RF Analyzer. So there's like, you have like 3 choices for apps, and you need that driver. So without that driver, it may not show up at all. May not
Oh, I
even
see.
plugged in.
So that might be my problem. Is I would have needed another piece of software in there.
Probably.
Yeah, I see that. I'm actually on the website now. SDR Touch, USB digital TV. Yeah. Wow. I want to play with that again. I'm going to put that back on the list to come up again, because I really want. Because when you go out somewhere and you're doing something remote, all your equipment's tied up doing what you're doing. It would be nice to have a receiver that's just it's got its own battery. It's all self-contained. It's ready to go.
Well, yeah, I had the same exact idea as you, and I came up with this thing. This is the Raspberry Pi 7-inch touchscreen, the
Oh
official
yeah.
Pi, and I put a Pi 4 in there, and it has on the side. There's no Pi in it right now, but it has holes where the USB and network came out and everything.
Yeah.
So I literally just took a RTL SDR and just plugged it into the side and had a little right angle SMA connector with an antenna on it. And then on here, since it was Raspberry Pi, I ran Cubic SDR on it. And that was my little listening thing. I took that with me on a road trip, and it held up and it worked great. I had a little battery bank like they use for charging your phone. I had that stuck on the back here, so it had its own power. And that setup worked pretty well.
Well, what I found, what I put in the newsletter this week kind of goes along with this, and that's basically you can use your SDR, RTL SDR, to decode digital modes. And there's this GNU radio.
Mhm.
It's called GNU radio, and
GNU
I don't
radio
know.
is kind of funky.
Yeah.
You have to
But-
basically build the radio virtually with like virtual components and stuff. It's a little bit different than that, but it's interesting.
Well,
If he's already pre-made a what are they called? Flow or something. If he's already made one, then you could use it.
I'm not sure. I know that I found this article. I haven't done it yet myself, but when I got this, it's you take this, basically you get this program, and you can go in, and when you find a digital signal, it will help you figure out and decode what the signal is, so that you can see it's a picture or it's a voice. And it even mentions that it does some of the like DMR and different things. And so I eventually want to get to where my tablet has an SDR mounted on it with the antenna and everything on the self-contained battery, and have that to where it can also monitor and decode digital modes too.
Wow. Where's this? Okay. RTL SDR for $40. What? They're only like
Raise the
20.
price.
Did they raise the price?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about $40.
Something for it.
Ah.
That's a good dongle, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's
We
fantastic.
got the latest version of it. I think version 3. Yeah, that's version 3.
I hate to tell you guys, I
beat you to it.
actually, I have 3 of them. I have these 2 here, and then I've got the third one up there on my aircraft monitor, and it's on right now. I'm actually monitoring aircraft. I'm trying to figure out now how to set an alert. I want to set an alert so that when certain aircraft show up, it'll alert me. I'm working on that right now. But the whole idea with these is They work for anything. So I'm like I said, I'm wanting to set up PSK reporter stuff with these, and there's all kinds of stuff I got planned for these. So
Now, this one will work down to HF band, right?
yeah, they'll work into the HF band. I will tell you, the lower you go, the less it works. But you can buy a up adapter, I think it's called. What do they call it? An up converter.
One
An
of
up
these
converter.
things.
Yeah, that thing right there will make it work great on HF.
Oh yeah.
It does pretty well by itself. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although
I've hooked mine up to my long wire, and it sat there and picked up a bunch of FT8 contacts, so it does work. You just have to make sure you turn that gain all the way up.
Right.
Just a fun story. I bought mine, hooked it up, couldn't hear nothing on it. Thought it was a piece of crap, threw it in the drawer. Figured I wasted my money. It sat there for 6 months till I met Joseph. I told him about it. I said, yeah, mine's a piece of crap. It doesn't work. He said, give it to me. I bet it works fine. I give it to him. It works fine. What it was is it comes default with the gain turned all the way down on SDR Sharp. And with the gain turned all the way down, you won't hear nothing on it unless it's your neighbor at 100 watts. Literally, I ended up, for 6 months, it sat in my drawer. And now I got 3 of them. You know what else you can do with this that I want to do? The other thing I want to do with these is I can take one and put it on the Lee County trunked radio frequency control channel and take the other one and put it on, put the Lee County system in it. There's actually a program that goes along with the Sharp program. And that program actually will, I lost my train of thought.
it will 2 SDR sharps.
Yes, one
Full
SDR
signal.
Sharp will listen to the control channel, and one scans around to whatever the control channel tells it to listen to, basically. And you can actually go in there and select modes and have certain channels and everything on the trunked system. So I would like to, the Lee County scanner for Lee County on Broadcastify is the worst one on Broadcastify. I have no doubt. It is just terrible. It sounds terrible all the time. So I want to put up a Broadcastify of Lee County, and I want to actually put up 2 or 3 of them. I want to actually receive the control channel and then actually split that up and use it for several different receiving ones. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking.
Different type ones.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that stream of information that's coming in, from the from that one control one, okay, could be used then to control multiple receivers. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm looking to put together a little system like that. But that's on my list too. I've got a project list that's so long right now. And I have to tell you guys, since COVID, I'm gaining weight. I don't feel right. I don't get near as many hours of useful time a day. My mind's foggy. I leave my glasses in my cell phone in every restaurant I walk in now. I have never returned to normal after COVID. I've never quite got it all back. I'm letting you guys know. Even producing the show, I have to really concentrate at work to make sure that things go well now, where before it was like second nature to me. And I'll tell you guys today, I really haven't told many people this, but I really feel like I lost something, and I don't think I'll get it back. And it's a shame. I mean, I lost a little bit of me in that whole thing. And I don't know. It's scary. It really is. I really don't feel like I got it back. I lost a little bit of memory. I lost a lot of stamina. And it's just not been good. Between the two, I seem to have a harder time multitasking and concentrating. My taste and my smell have returned completely. It took 5 weeks for my smell to return right. I could smell the following week, but everything smelled like garbage or fish. Yeah, I walked in the Yankee Candle store. My mother's like, let's walk in the Yankee Candle store and see if you can smell the candles. I walked in there. She goes, what's this smell like? I said, shit. She says, what's this one smell like? I said, garbage. I said, specifically kitchen garbage. It was bad.
You need to have a skunk visit your neighborhood as a test.
I know. So, but I will say now, when I smell pizza, it's pizza. So I'm back to being able to smell again.
All right.
My taste came back right away. It was weird when I had it. It was weird because I would eat some things and I'm like, this could be something totally different, and I wouldn't know. I mean, the texture's right. I don't know the rest. It's like, I told my wife, I said, I'm going to quit salting my food for 2 weeks because it doesn't matter. But anyway, no, I'm a saltaholic, and I know my salt intake went way down for 2 weeks because there wasn't any sense in putting salt on it, wasting the salt. But anyway, it was a crazy time, I'll tell you, and it doesn't end with that. As much as I don't think they figured out all there is to figure out with COVID. They certainly haven't figured out how to make a vaccine for it.
I hope Xi Jinping gets it.
Yeah, the China virus. I'd say it bugs me that it still bugs me that every single, and I'm going to say this and we'll move on, but every single drug commercial you see, I think about this. Every single drug commercial you see on TV, what happens? They come on and they go, hey, you got to try Big Bootia. It's great. Big Bootia is the best medicine you'll ever get. It makes me feel better every day. And it makes my groin feel better too. And it makes my butt feel better. It's awesome. That's the first 15 seconds of the commercial. What's the last 45 seconds of the commercial? It's the guy.
Include diarrhea.
Exactly. It's the guy. He's good, or the girl, whoever it is, the lady. It's generally an older couple. They're walking through the woods by an oak tree. And while he's walking and pointing at the bird in the oak tree to his wife.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, you're hearing could cause side effects like anal bleeding and death. And
I hate seeing the happy family dancing around. Oh, look at this happy having a grill,
a
having
side
friends
effect.
over. It's like
they literally say that a side effect is death.
Could cause cancer in the state of California.
And I'm like, what does this do? Oh, it keeps your toes from itching. So I'm going to risk death to keep my toes from itching? I don't understand. So what gets me about this is all these medicines, okay, all these medicines, they have to have these long disclaimers. When you get the box, it's on 3 sides of the box, the disclaimer, the rules. Oh my God, this and that. You could die, you could live. And you get the paperwork. It's all over. You got to sign the paperwork. Your doctor has to sign the paperwork. Everybody, oh my God, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. We get to the COVID, okay? Every medicine is out there. They have to publish what's in it, how it works, all the studies, the research, everything. It has to be out there. Very little can be kept secret for copyright purposes. There is little bits sometimes that can be kept secret for copyright. But for the most part, it's all out there for you, okay? Here's the thing. When COVID vaccine came, not only did they not tell you what the side effects were going to be, they hid the information about the side effects from you. Not only did they do that, they put them under wraps for 55 years. You know why? Because the last person that would have had anything involved in this decision will be dead by then. That's what bugs me is you make all these companies jump through all these hoops, but when it came to this virus, all of a sudden, not only did we not follow any of the rules we had in place, but we made new rules to shove it through testing and get it in people's arms. And then we tried to make rules to force it on people before it was even tried and tested and fully approved. I don't know, man. That's scary to me. And it's not political either. Okay. My decision would have been the same whether Trump won the last election or not. It had nothing to do with that. I worry about things like transparency. And if Trump would have done this, I'd have had the same problem with it. And I'd be bitching about it today just like I do now. It has nothing to do with party as much as it has to do with Why are we so transparent on everything else but this? What are you not telling me? Look,
Yeah.
when a
Isn't it
cop
funny?
asks you 20 questions and you subvert their answers on 3 of them, they know where to start digging. Okay? Well, the same thing with this. If they're making everybody disclose everything up till now, and then all of a sudden they won't tell us anything, and they're putting it all under wraps, and nobody's saying a word. And you ever notice who keeps coming out and saying we need more boosters? We need more boosters. We need more boosters, says the president of Moderna, who just made it on the 10 most rich people in the United States list.
Figures.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys,
He's funny.
COVID's real. It's not a hoax, okay? But I really have questions about the vaccine, because at first it was going to keep you from getting it. It was 98% effective. Then it was 70% effective. Then it was 50% effective keeping you getting it. But it was 90% effective keeping you out of hospital. Then it was 70% effective keeping you out. Then it was 50% effective keeping you out. Now it's 80% effective at preventing death. And they keep changing. They keep moving the goalpost further and further and further down the field. You're never going to make it to that goalpost. What it actually is it helps a little bit. It helps some. Doesn't help a lot. I think you should get the vaccine if you want it. And I also think older folks should get it. I think it does help. I think people like Joseph saying should not take that thing. The side effects are not worth the risk. But that's my opinion. And because of this little discussion, you watch. My YouTube video will get banned tomorrow.
It's funny is I've had the first 2, but I didn't get the 3rd one. I'm waiting for this new version to come out.
Yeah. If you don't go out much, you probably don't need to worry about it right away. All I tell people, I don't tell people I'm not anti-vax. I'm pro-vax. I've got all my other vaccines. I'm good with vaxes. I'm pro-transparency, and I don't see any here. So that's my problem.
I just think some of our political leaders need to have their rabies and distemper vaccines.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. And maybe heartworm on a couple of them.
Yeah, but
all right. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. If nobody has anything on that, we can move on.
What cracks me up, Ian, is the warning labels that say this product has been shown to cause cancer in laboratory rats in California.
Yeah, it's all in California.
Yeah, that was suicide.
Everything. Well, guess what? Breathing causes cancer in California. So, where did the control rat live in Texas? I mean, that's kind of how that works. Anyway, all right. Because if everything sucks, you can't have a control rat. Anyway, the swap shop is next weekend, not this weekend. Just to remind you guys.
Just a quick one. I figured it out. It's 10 o'clock. When the big arm clicks over to 10 o'clock, that's when you go off.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I probably should hit end on YouTube next time.
Yeah, like 9:59. If we finish then.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago it was roundabouts. This week it's.
I'll probably go back and kill the last 20 minutes of my YouTube feed tonight, or they will. You have no. When we were broadcasting the drive, the Trey Rtl show, we were broadcasting live on YouTube around the world, right? And it was going great. We were getting hundreds and hundreds of viewers, even thousands of viewers. I'm getting a lot of noise, guys. I'm not sure who it's coming from. But we were getting lots and lots and lots of views, and YouTube was copyright striking us constantly. We were using non-licensed music, and we were getting copyright striked for background music that was in our commercials. Then every time we would bring up the vaccine or the coronavirus or whatever, anything like that, bam, we would be banned off of YouTube, and they would ban us for 7 days. And you know what we finally said? We're done with YouTube. Goodbye. You want to play this game with us, then fine, we're out. And we still stream all over the world audio, but we no longer do video at all. And that's thanks to YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Whatever. I hate censorship in any way. I hate it.
Yeah, I hate Twitter, Fox.
You know, I don't want Russian propaganda in our country, but I'm against censorship in any way.
Yeah,
So I would not stand against anything like that. The only time I believe in censorship is to protect the innocent, like children, things like that. When we get nudity and things like that, I understand all that. I get it.
yeah, but
God Almighty, let's just quit going crazy all the time. All right, let's look at. There's no real big ham events this weekend. Next weekend is Tampa Ham Fest, the Tark Fest, and Tampa, and then there's this thing in Pasco County the following week. I know there's no date on here. I don't know what happened to the date, but that's coming up. That's like a tailgater thing, and then there's some more coming up later on. But that's what we got coming up for that. In the news, the only thing I want to tell you, there is shortwave stations from the U.S. broadcasting into Ukraine, sending their music over to them and sending in some, good messages and information and things like that. So I thought that was a good story. I got that in there. Let's see here. That license fee, guys, you can't forget about that. If there's anything you want to change, if you get your application stamped before that date, you don't pay the $35.
yeah,
So if you go online and get something filled out right now, you won't have to pay that $35. So if you're thinking about doing the upgrade or the vanity or whatever, now's the time. Tell us.
$5 over the threshold.
Yep. And then this last one, these strange radio circles were kind of strange. I read about that. It was an interesting story. So all that's in there. I'm not going to spend time on all that, but the Magic Band season is coming up. I got a great article in here about Magic Band. If you guys, I'm sure most of you guys have been hams for a while, but there's one or two newer guys in here. Magic Band is worth doing. You can do it with a tech license. You can do it. You can build your antenna with crap laying around the shack. All you need is an HF radio that can do 50 meters. Actually, technically, it's a VHF radio that can do 50 meters. Okay,
6 meters.
or 6 meters, 50 meters, 50 megahertz, 6 meters. The neat thing about this band is it has it a lot of times it acts more like VHF, like 2 meters. A lot of times it acts very much like 10 and 12 meters. And so I like it. But the really cool thing about it is Magic Band season. There's these magical, and yeah, they're magical. There's these magical floating clouds that float from east to west across the world. And when they happen, and they start happening usually at the end of May through June and early July is the big season of the year. When these clouds float by up there, and I call them clouds, but it's actually a little higher than that, a lot higher than that. But when these clouds are going overhead from east to west, you'll see on the PSK reporter where that's happening. And when you see where that's happening, let's see if it's happening. Oh, just to show you, there's my two receivers, the 20 and the 40. But let's go back to 6 meter and for anyone. And see what we got here. No, I'm not seeing anything. No, there's no openings right now in 2 meter. What you would see in 6 meter, what you would see is a bunch of the red lines all crossing each other. When you see all the red lines crossing each other, that's where one of those reflective areas are. And you want to aim your Yagi towards that. I had great luck last year. Aiming my Yagi directly towards or to the little bit to the west of where I saw all those lines crossing. And I had great luck. I was popping right on the other side. I could actually tell right where I was going to hit. It was really cool. It was almost like getting coordinates for a missile. Yeah, I mean, it was really neat. So I found of all the bands I've worked and of all the modes I've worked and of all the neat things I've done in ham radio, chasing the Magic Bands last summer was the funnest thing I did. I've got, no lie, 958 contacts last summer on 6 meter with a 5-element beam that I refurbished. It was all messed up and I refurbished it and made it new again and put it up on it's up at 22 feet above terrain, and I could spin it all around. And man, when it hits, if you can get two of these lined up, you could hit one, it comes down and it hits the other one, and you could start making multiple bounces across these reflective areas. It is a lot of fun because if you got a rotor and a beam, there's a lot of strategy to it. Where if you got a wire, it's kind of a wing and a prayer. But when you got a beam, all of a sudden, man, you're in there. So I thought it was really cool. What's that, Rick?
6 meter rig.
Oh wow, a 6 meter only rig. I didn't even know they made such
Oh
thing.
yeah, this is
I've got
J rig. This puts out 12 watts.
Well, aren't I the new guy?
Yeah. This is puts out, I think, 12 watts PEP is all.
Can you highlight him, Ian?
Yeah.
I can only see a little picture of him.
Yeah, so we can.
I've got a TS60, which is the same as the TS50, but it's only 6 meters, and that's 100 watts.
Yeah. Well, who needs 100 watts? I've made a lot of contacts with this little guy.
Yeah.
I took my Cushcraft 3-element beam and went to the NOGA QRP field day one year. I think that was around 2000. And I made as many contacts with this on 6 meters as they did on using CW. I was on this thing.
Wow.
Made a whole bunch of contacts. I think like I said, made as many points with this as they made with using CW. So this little bugger does pretty good. That's probably what I'm going to do is put that 6 meter beam back up, and I've got three of those little 5 foot 16 gauge poles, and so we could get the thing up about 15-20 feet. That's about all you need, and it opens up. You can do a lot of fun stuff with it.
Yep. Yeah, you don't need it up 40 feet like you do a VHF antenna or something because it's skywave. You're shooting at sideband skywave. Horizontally polarized skywave.
Yeah, it's a horizontally polarized antenna.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can make a Moxon antenna or a hex beam or something like that.
Well, when I really want to get some gumption and I want to talk on the 6 meter net up in Charlotte County, they're doing it vertically polarized.
Yeah.
It's still sideband. And so what I do, and I know I can't make you guys, or I would try. So what I do is I go up there and I've left the bolts loose enough on my beam that I go up on the roof of my shed and I can reach up there with a pole. I got a pole with a loop on the end, and I grab it and I can bring it and make it to where it's vertically polarized.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done, I get back up, I climb up the tower, get on the roof again, and I take that loop and I push it back up to where it's horizontally polarized. That's the poor man's polarization changer there. But it works, and that's how I do it.
Yeah, this
Pretty
is
cool.
my first 6 meter capable rig, and now I've got 2 Kenwoods that also HF rigs, which also have 6 meters. So those will run 100 watts. So this one just runs 12, and I can do some pretty fun stuff with this thing.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't realize my screen was still shared. Can you show us that rig one more time, Rick?
Yeah,
and I will.
that's better. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I literally thought that it was. Yeah, it says you have the spotlight now, so you should be able to see it.
Yeah, you should be able to see it.
There we go.
I was watching on the other screen, and I thought that I had it full screen, and I didn't. So there we go. Okay.
Oh, there's no light on.
Sorry, this is my 9th hour of radio production today.
Actually, this is too much light, so we'll crank it back. And of course, there's the microphone somewhere. Yeah, there it is.
That's pretty cool.
So,
So that's
So
a
anyway.
that's a transceiver. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a transceiver. Sideband and everything. But anyway, and I've got another one for 20 meters, but I've spent more time on this one.
That's cool. I like
That is
it.
pretty cool.
Made in wherever it is
Iowa.
called Mississippi.
Yeah.
Quite a few years ago now. They still make these, by the way.
Well, guys, the bands are open. Some of them.
They were open last weekend. I was on the sideband contest, And with the hex beam, we were able to contact all over Europe, including Bosnia and Croatia and a whole bunch of the countries over there. Some of those little former Eastern Bloc communist countries, I got most of those, except, of course, for Ukraine and Russia, which are, I don't know what the deal is with Russia, but Ukraine, of course, is off the air.
I've seen one Ukraine station since the war started, and I couldn't get him.
Yeah.
On FT8, I just saw one station, but it seems like every Russian station in the world is on the air right now. I'm seeing so many Russian, and I almost think they're all good people like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Putin's a prick, but they're all good people like us. A lot of them,
right.
especially their hams they're just people like we are, and so I almost believe they're out there doing the goodwill thing. Almost, I really don't think that those people in Russia don't want no part of what's going on right now.
No, they don't.
Well, I'm not even sure they know what's going on.
Yeah, well, you're right. I don't think they have a good grasp on what's going on, and what they see they don't like.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I make contacts. If I see a Russian station, I'll call them and I'll make a contact with them. I'm not, because I look at it differently than a lot of people. I see Putin differently. That man was not fairly elected ever.
No.
That's not a democracy. They don't get to choose, and so it's hard to blame everybody over there.
Well, he killed his closest competitor, didn't he?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, that guy's something else, man. I'll tell you. All right. So, all right. Is there anything else that we need to cover before we go? I'm going to go check one more thing here. We talked. Oh, yes, I do. I want to show you guys something. I found a couple more antenna designs for 50 that was really cool.
Oh, let's see. Halo.
Yeah, this is a hula hoop halo antenna. Simple DIY project, 6-meter band. The links are in the email, in the newsletter. I'm thinking about making that. I don't know, just because I like it. And then this is the other one I found. 2-meter square copper dipole. This one's 2-meter, but you can build it for 6-meter too,
Yeah, I'm sure you could easily.
Oh,
all this, the one I originally saw was for 6-meter. I just noticed it actually says 2-meter here, but the measurements are different, but it does 6-meter. But yeah, that's man, I'm telling you what, I love 6-meter. Real quick, there's a lot of contesting this weekend. The FT4 International Activity Day is 12 hours, and it is, I guess, what, tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. And 8 o'clock Zulu is going to be, what, 12 or 1 here, 12 o'clock here? No, it goes the other way. It's 4 a.m. here, right?
No.
What's
It's 2:30 tomorrow, Zulu now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 4 hours. So that would be 4. It starts at 4 a.m. in the morning and it goes to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. But that's that one there. And I'm going to try to get in on some of this one, I think, tomorrow.
I will in the afternoon. I've got a yard sale tomorrow.
I just love FT4. And I love when they contest on FT4. It's fast. It's fun. And you can make bucket loads of contacts in just a short period of time. I'm not sure exactly what the FOC QSO party is, but the link for it's right there. And that's CW. Yeah, that one's CW only. This one here is 31 flavors contest. I don't know what the hell that is.
Sounds like an ice cream shop.
Yeah, it sounds like Baskin Robbins bought an HF rig.
Oh, it's PSK 31. It's not 31.
Right.
Okay.
It's the PSK 31 flavors contest.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. I get this right off of the thing. You know what I mean?
I think it's
but anyway, and then
PSK 31.
I think it is too. And then we got the Louisiana QSO party, the Mississippi QSO party, and then the Florida State Parks on the Air is doing a thing where you can activate Florida State parks, and that's there with the link also. So there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend.
Well, between midnight and noon today, Wyoming had its QSO party.
Really? On a weekday?
On April the 1st. Never mind.
Yeah, you're fooling me.
Yeah, they're no good if you have to explain them.
There's nobody there. Yeah.
Don't get me bitching about people doing ham radio stuff during the week.
Yeah, but it was Wyoming, I mean, I'm still
Yeah.
convinced the place doesn't exist.
Yeah. Because I'll be honest, in ham radio, nothing chaps my ass more than planning hobby stuff when I'm at work and can't participate in it. And this group we have down here in Fort Myers, this so-called big group that we have here, everything they do is during the week.
Oh God, yeah. And the
So-
Georgia QSO party is next week.
No, end of the month, isn't it?
No, that's Florida.
Yeah.
The Georgia QSO party is
Oh,
next
Georgia.
week. Yeah,
Oh,
Georgia's
I
next
want
week.
to show you guys.
I'm probably going to be
there's
talking
a
to a lot
neat-
of people I know.
Florida's the only one I take part in.
Florida's the end of the month. I'll take
Yeah.
part in
Well,
that.
I like that one because it's in 2 halves, so sensible hours.
Yeah, well, Georgia is too.
Oh, is it?
Yep, split in two. It starts on Saturday and goes for a while, and then starts up again on Sunday. Yeah, Georgia's the same way, except Georgia has 80 meters. Florida does not.
No. Well, because it's not open when 80 meters is open.
So anyway, the other thing I wanted to show you guys was when we talk about aurora, there's a neat thing that happens when there's a really strong aurora. There's an afterglow that's left behind, and it's a really deep, beautiful purple color. And we had a lot of that yesterday, and so I wanted to show you some of the pictures. This is the auroral afterglow, and there was some really good pictures in here from several of different people that were able to catch this purple glow. And the best one is this one right here. I think it might be slightly color enhanced, but look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, I love aurora pictures. I have a weird thing about aurora pictures. I think in one of my lives, in one of my previous lives, because I believe in reincarnation, and I believe that in one of my previous lives, I'm almost convinced that I was Mexican because I love Taco Bell more than any place in the whole world. And then I'm also, I'm completely convinced that I lived a lifetime up in the Arctic because I love the aurora and snow. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
And I was born in Florida. I saw snow for the first time when I was 25 on the way to a ski trip. We stopped on the side of the road and made snowballs. Frickin' Floridians. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you guys the
That almost looks like, if you bring that up, almost looks like either a T-Mobile ad. It's almost
Yep.
bring
or
up
a
what?
Ubuntu Linux ad. One of their
Have we ever seen auroras in Florida?
They were seen in Florida during the Kerrigan event in 1859.
Oh, okay, yeah, I wasn't around then.
No, I wasn't quite here either, but they were actually seen when the Carrington event happened. They call it the Carrington event because an astronomer named Kerrigan was looking through his solar telescope and observed the explosion on the sun. And when it hit here, it caught telegraph stations on fire. I mean, it was crazy. People were being electrocuted to death by touching the railroad tracks. Anything metal was collecting energy. It was crazy. But some of the neatest things that came from that was the miners out in Arizona got up and went to work thinking that it was morning. At 2:30 in the morning, they got up, got dressed, went into the mine and started working. And
That's taking daylight saving time just a little.
yeah, it's a bit too serious. But they also said you could read the morning paper from the aurora in Jamaica. So, and in Cuba and places south of us. So to say, we could have easily seen those here. So is it possible to see them in Florida in our lifetime? Yes.
Could be.
If we see bright auroras in Florida, we'll probably have a really good view because our power grid will be out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No light pollution.
That's the bad news.
Yeah. I've seen them a couple of times in Pennsylvania. I lived in north of Philly, Bucks County.
Right. Some of this was seen as far south as northern Colorado last night.
Well, that'd probably be about the same.
Yeah.
Southern, yeah. But then, of course, they're a lot higher, so they'll.
That's a beautiful picture there.
Yeah.
I love the aurora. I actually have aurora video that has like songs, and I just leave it on sometimes. It's just the ambiance of it. I love the aurora for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, I love it
There
too.
is. You can take a vacation. There is an aurora vacation.
There
we
is.
know.
Several companies are running those.
We've done like a half a tech net on this already one time. We talked about the observatory vacation things.
I know.
Okay.
I'll show you
So
guys.
cool. It's so
Oh,
cool.
I wanna
tornadoes
go
was,
there. This is the biggest place on my bucket list, and I will never get to go there. I'm poor, but this is literally the place that's on my bucket list right now. Look at this.
Wow.
Oh wow!
I want to go there. I want to live there. I want to live there. Maybe I can clean toilets or something.
Could get a job there, probably. Wow.
Could you sleep in that bed? I mean, come on.
My kids live in Alaska.
Oh, I envy them.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that is cool.
I know. I'm telling you guys, I can't. When I see these pictures, I get excited, and I'll never see the place.
Oh, never say never.
Yeah, I could win the lottery, but I'd have to play.
Yeah, me too. I don't play it, but yeah.
My luck's so bad, I don't bother wasting the money.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know.
if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you can go there and get married. I can go and see Santa.
The real Santa.
Glass igloos. I think those would be fairly.
So let me share my screen. I'll show you some aurora pictures I took in Alaska.
Oh yeah, go
Yeah,
for
give
it.
me just 1 second. I just want to show you this
Sure,
one video
sure.
real quick. Right after this video, look at this video, guys.
That's pretty
I mean,
cool.
I just every time I see this place, I absolutely like freak out. I just want to go there so bad. And
Where is it? Finland?
oh, I'm not sure where this one is.
Finland, Sweden, somewhere up there.
Looks like Finland, yeah.
It's one of those. It's not in Alaska. I know that. It's out of country. And it's not in Canada either. It's over there. But yeah, that's what I want. Okay, go ahead. You can share now. Let me back out of this. Go ahead.
Let's see here. Let me, we gotta figure out how to get the screen pulled around here.
Computers are like children. They never perform when you need them to.
That's right.
Yeah, you know I'm right too, Joseph.
Give me
You
a
know
break.
I'm right.
No, why is not sharing?
And Joseph, I was actually referring to little kids. You know, when you're like, oh, do that thing for daddy, and they'll never do it again.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was referring about. But if you want to take offense, that's fun too.
I resemble that remark.
Now, why is that not sharing?
Because you're being stingy.
You got to open it first. Open it first, then go to Zoom, click on sharing, and then click on the window that's open.
Yeah, you may have to open it and get it going first before you share. Mine does that every now and then, but not usually.
Yeah, open your photographs.
I actually got a blue screen.
I had them on my desktop.
on this team.
All right, well, is that them on the left? Double click on there. There you go.
Can you see that? I can't
Yeah,
tell.
we got multiple pictures though. Can you click on one of them and then scroll between them all? There you go. Now you should be able to scroll between each one.
Oh wow! You
That
may
was in
just
the
click.
backyard of my kids' dinner one night.
Wow, those are bright.
That's in Fairbanks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Were you using a regular exposure, or was this like a little extended exposure on these
My
to get them
my
to?
son-in-law took it. He's the chief wildlife biologist in Alaska right now on Save the
Wow,
Polar Bear activity.
cool.
There's my daughter. Where am I trying to go here? Come on. Why can't I move it now? That's what he did his research on.
Wow.
You know, China and Alaska are the only two places that have muskox.
I think
Wow.
I dated her once.
Yeah.
And also caribou. You know how large the largest herd in Alaska is of caribou?
Hmm.
Take a wild guess.
150.
30,000.
Half a
Holy-
million.
Oh my God.
$500,000.
How's that for a
Well,
cool picture?
Yeah, that's cold now.
That's at the Iditarod. That's my
Look at her
daughter.
eyelashes all frozen up.
Oh yeah.
Icicles on the eyelash.
I was surprised
Wow.
when I go up to a real
Got
cold
ramen
climate.
noodles hanging from her hat.
I know.
Right.
I always thought how cool it was when I went up to like I would spend 5 days at a ski resort. On day one, I was so cold I couldn't stand it. My face was frozen all the time. My ears were frozen all the time. I was just so cold. By the fourth day, I'm skiing without a jacket on. I got no hat. It's like I live there.
That's
I don't know.
right. That's what skiers are
Your body, at least my body 20 years ago, adjusted pretty good within a few days. I don't know.
I feel
It's
cold
always
just
great.
looking at
It's
that.
always great to have ski in and ski out, so that when you get hot, you can throw your jacket up on your porch.
Yeah. This is a brown bear they shot with a tranquilizer gun from that helicopter.
Hmm.
They were
Oh,
changing.
wow.
They were changing the satellite tracking collar on him.
Yeah.
I like how they parked the chopper.
Yeah.
You do what you can, right?
Pulled up and stopped.
Yeah.
They say any landing you walk away from is a good
Good
landing.
one. Yeah, yeah. What's it they say about helicopters? If you want to own one, buy an acre land and wait.
Yeah.
There's the pine herd, the largest caribou herd in Alaska. Look at the number of caribou out there.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
And they say the pipeline is ruining the place.
Yeah.
A lot of caribou.
Anyway, that's just a few.
So
a
the
few
one in
fun
the
pictures.
the one in the top right hand corner is considered foreplay.
That's my daughter.
That is.
A moose.
That was a moose that was injured, and they were taking care of him, and so they got pretty friendly with it.
Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
moose are cool.
Yeah.
And she's a kayaker, as you might expect.
Oh, it's the same dog as mine.
I would love to be an outdoorsman, but the fact that I wasn't built right and the fact that I'm lazy all kind of works against me.
I know the feeling.
I'd love to do so much because I love nature. I love animals. I could spend my whole life outdoors. But if it's over about 75 degrees, I need my air conditioner. So
Yeah. I got air conditioner.
I've become such a wuss for the heat. When I was a
Okay.
firefighter, I could handle it. But now that I'm 50, I can't handle that heat anymore, man.
I got to run a pit check them.
Sometimes it's like I can't live without my air conditioner, not even for a day.
I've had mine going here recently. And it's
That's right. When the storm hits,
yeah.
we figure our kilowatts out by air conditioner and then whatever's left.
Yeah, right.
That's how I figure my kilowatts. Air conditioner, whatever's left.
Whatever's left.
Anyway, do we have anything else, guys?
Oh,
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
that's it.
I need some popcorn because this is entertaining. Okay.
Wow, it must be doing good tonight. It's a shame only
Yeah.
like 10 people showed up.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I think it might be a good thing in this case. All right.
This happens when I don't have a big topic. When we're just doing a review night like tonight, we don't
Hey, we
get
covered some good stuff tonight.
Wow.
I actually prefer these nights because I get to learn a lot of different things and talk about a lot of different things. But there's a lot of people that they want to come in and they want to hit a hard topic for 2 hours and then go to bed.
Yeah, see, we don't have it. All right. Anyway, I got a bit of a topic. So I'm going to share my screen. So
All right.
This is my Linux terminal. If I pause this here, clear. So I have a program installed for this is about the weather station thing.
Oh, okay.
So if I do RTL_433, this is an application that lets you decode weather stations
Oh,
using RTL Sdr. So I also do -C customary for the switch from Celsius to Fahrenheit. And you run that. And if we give it a second here, it will, there it goes. So the Cotec is my weather station. So we have rainfall amount, gusting amount, wind direction. That's your like actual direction in what is that? Azimuth?
Azimuth degrees.
No, that's regular off the regular compass.
Okay.
Yeah, it's your compass heading. Yeah.
That's almost north.
That's
Yeah.
what I figured.
too. That's-
And we also have our wind average speed and humidity. So this is how it shows up. This is like a neighbor's weather station. All it does is report temperature and humidity. But mine does, I think theirs might actually be, because theirs says 87% humidity and mine says 71.
that's
So I don't know what's up with that.
My God, you could drive around in your car with this and just pick up data off everybody's stuff when you're driving around.
Well, that's the thing. If you want weather data and you've got a big old antenna like us hams do, hook up your RTL Sdr to your VHF, UHF, and you'll just start getting like the whole neighborhood's collective weather stations, and you could probably just piggyback off them. But
Do they give? They don't give the pressure.
they do. Oh, you're right. This is not reading pressure.
Usually the
Oh.
pressure is on the inside station. I know it is on my.
Well,
data.
mine has. Oh, you're probably right.
Yeah, because the pressure will be the same anywhere unless it's a pressurized
The
vessel.
wind
Pressure
speed is that
station.
meters per second.
Yes, when meters per
MS.
second.
Yeah.
This, I don't know what this is here. This one, Springfield soil, it says 125.2 degrees, and it only comes on every now and then you'll see this pop up on the list here, but I don't know what would be 125 degrees in somebody's house unless they have like a
building on fire.
lizard. Well, it's always a high temperature, so I wonder if it's like a lizard cage or like they've got a pet or something.
125 degrees. That's one hell of a lizard.
That's a
Well, you know
hot
they like
music.
it warm.
Oh, it's probably a grow farm or something.
That'd make a great band name, Hot Lizard.
What's the humidity there? 69%.
68%.
Oh, okay.
So this is cool. What I want to do, and I'm like Ian, I've got like 80 projects that would be super cool and I want to do, but only a certain amount of time and money. I want to create a Python program that gives me a computer version of this little screen I have over here, the little receiver. And I could put graphing functions in there and have like a computer thing so that whenever I do my weather streams, I could just capture it with OBS instead of having to point a camera at the screen. That's what I really want to do.
Yeah.
And I looked into WeWX, but that is just super complicated. It could do it, but it's really complicated.
Yeah.
Does this run on, will this run on Windows, this thing you're looking at now?
Yes. I actually have the RTL 433 executable. It's just
we may play with this weekend then, because I got everything I need to do this. I might just hook it up and play with it.
No, you may not get much because I don't know if anybody in your neighborhood's got a weather station.
Yeah, I mean, my neighborhood might not be the best place, but I guarantee when you're going around, you could pick up data from anywhere.
Yeah, just I've run this in the car.
I mean,
before.
I almost want to run this in my car with a nice antenna. I got a really nice high gain antenna on the roof. I mean, you drive around town, you could conceivably get data from anywhere.
Oh yeah, you drive through Fort Myers, you'll just get a flood of readings.
So what's the deal with the 8.7 inches of rain?
So
We haven't had that this year.
the weather station. So the screen in here, the little receiver I have, I can reset the rainfall amount locally. But if I want to reset it on the actual device, I have to push the reset button on the bottom of the actual weather station. So in here right now, it reads 0 inches, but it's going to say 8.7, or it's just going to continue climbing until I go reset it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
because we haven't had that much rain yet this year.
Yeah,
I
definitely
mean,
not.
maybe in a month's time we'll be
Well,
getting that in a week. But
this is also from me putting it on the roof of the car and shaking around the sensor. So it just reads
okay.
like my screen in here says 10 inches because of how much I've been shaking the sensor around.
So you need a long stick to be able to push the reset button, right?
Yep. Or I just stand on the very top bit of the ladder like you're not supposed to. So that's that bit. I want to turn that to something cool. And then the other thing I have to show is this. I was reading the comments here. The SDR++ for Android. So they have a little, you must have the SDR plugged in before starting the app. And you must refresh the source before pressing play. Still a few glitches in the UI. If you want to record your baseband files, it's kind of difficult right now. Just some more graphical issues. Must be Android 9.0 or higher. And the current devices that it supports on Android is the AirSpy HF Plus, the HackRF I have, Pluto SDR, but only over network. So you can do like an RTL TCP kind of thing, but for the Pluto SDR. I don't know what an RF space is. You got RTL SDR and RTL TCP. And they have something new. They have SDR++ server. This is something I really want to experiment with. And maybe we can do that for our next topic next week. So we had Spy Server previously, which is what I used for like 3 years to have a remote listening station. Spy Server is pretty good. That's proprietary and ran by the people who make SDR console. Here it is, Spy Server. So it has Spy Server support. But actually, is that right? Spy Server is not made by SDR console. Spy Server is made by RTL SDR, or the people who made SDR Sharp. That's what Spy Server is. But I really want to try out SDR++ server. Anyway, if you want to get it on your phone, click the Google Drive link, hit download, and your phone will probably say, do you want to allow installing from unknown sources? And you have to say yes. You probably have to go into settings actually to enable that. But there it is. And that's about all there is to that. But I'm just so happy to finally have a good SDR application for the phone, because we haven't had that forever. They all had weird waterfalls. It was impossible to find a signal because it's like they turned I don't know what the setting is, but like the peaks between lowest and highest for the noise was like really, really out of whack. So it would look like you're seeing a million signals on the waterfall, but you're not. It's just noise. So this one actually lets you, it's a full-fledged program on the phone, which is great. I would like that. And then probably the last thing is I went out to the car a few minutes ago and got all my old handhelds. I got this one,
yeah.
the 2500, and then I got this, which is one of the last things I picked up from the swap shop. It's a 2600, but the back is destroyed, as you can see. But I love this radio because look at this. On the top, it has a little mini S meter, a physical S meter built into the top of the radio.
Oh, wow.
How cool is that? They don't make stuff like that's just cool. That's not necessary at all, but that's just super cool. I wish they still made radios like to be cool like that. Not really like that anymore. I don't think there's anything else. Not really. Oh, I have this thing, which is cool. It is a CB handheld.
Oh, wow.
This just lived at the swap shop for many years as well. And I did a test with this because I wanted to compare it to how, can it hold up against a modern 5-watt VHF handheld. And with the antenna all the way extended, this thing holds up to I think this puts out 2.5 watts on battery power. This thing holds up pretty well in terms of performance. It's pretty much almost the same. I drove around my neighborhood with the handheld, and then I left the base station on at home recording. And I was really impressed with this. I was expecting it to be pretty bad because a lot of the CB handhelds from the 80s and 90s had like 100-foot range. Like I'm not even kidding. They had really poor range.
Yeah.
Most of them weren't worth buying.
Yeah,
They were
like
garbage. There became a time where they were making CBs and they didn't care about the performance. They were just making it. And I don't know, it was terrible. I had 3 or 4 of those different handhelds when I was a kid, and they were all garbage.
You want to know what the worst performing handheld I've ever had in my whole life was?
This is a 220 one. IC3,
Oh, cool.
ICO3AT.
Oh, wow.
It's probably about 20 years old, but it still works. And I
There
just
you
put
go.
some fresh batteries in it, and I can use it to get on 220. So 5
There you
watts out.
go.
Wow.
Yeah. Even that old.
Nice.
Do y'all want to know what the worst performing handheld I ever had in my whole life was?
What?
This thing.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
I don't
my
know if
God.
I don't know if y'all have ever been Cracker Barrel and seen these hanging up on the little display. I
Yeah.
got one of these just for giggles. This thing could not transmit through a hotel door. My dad was standing literally on the other side of the door. Couldn't hear me. And the CW thing, it has a little keyer on it for CW. That gave you maybe 4-foot range. These don't work.
Look, it says they're bragging about the 150-foot range on the front.
Yeah, that's Chinese feet.
Look at
I
this.
tell you, if
There
I'm
you
running
go.
something 150 feet, I'll string a freaking wire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bean,
It's-
a fake bean can and a piece of string.
Guys with communicating baseband.
Look at this. It says penetrates walls, floors, steel, and concrete. Why would they even
Really?
put that on there?
In what alternate universe?
And it's
So
got a
where-
choking hazard, but that's from laughing, not from
Yeah.
swallowing it. Yeah.
So where's the made in China thing on it?
Not on here, but it's on the back of the radio. If we call it that.
It's so bad they didn't want to put their name on it.
The funny thing is that the receiver does work. It's a 49 megahertz radio.
News alert. High rent prices.
And it does-
49. Oh yeah, 49.9 or 49.3 probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does technically work and it does technically transmit. But you know what else I found out about it? So I attacked these things one day and I had them wired up to an external power supply and everything. I was like, man, how can I make these worth anything? And you know what I found? I put it on my SDR waterfall. And when I put my hand near the device, the transmit frequency shifts back and forth by like 500 kilohertz. Like depending on where my hand, like
Frequency
That's
modulation.
crazy.
I don't know how that's even possible, but it did it.
Spread spectrum.
Yeah.
And you know, I wonder what mode those were, because most of the 49 megahertz stuff that Radio Shack was putting out in the 80s and early 90s was actually FM.
Yeah.
Oh, this was AM for sure.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, AM.
Because Radio Shack used to sell headphones on 49.3 megahertz, and they actually worked pretty good. They were FM, and you could get probably, without a lot of interference, you could get a quarter mile out of them. I mean, you could literally go 4 houses down and talk on these things to somebody, where anything else you bought at Radio Shack at that point wouldn't even go that far. But I actually had a lot of those headphones growing up because they were actually pretty good. Yeah, 49 megahertz. There you go. That's basically the same, basically all the same characteristics as 6 meters.
Yeah. Yeah, right. 49 megs.
Yeah.
Well, in the UK, in the whatever country across the pond or whatever they say, 49 megs I think is one of the CB bands.
Yes, it is. It's 40. It's not very big. It's 49.5, I think, to 49.9. But it's also one of the radio-controlled bands.
Yep. Same here.
It's
In this
basically a
country.
public access frequency is what it is. There's not a lot of regulation there.
So I
Yeah, what
got
do they
given
call
it.
it? ISM band or something?
Yeah. If we take a step back to your last topic, I've been looking online. There are a bunch of SDR receivers for Mac, for the iPhone and the iPad. There's Smart SDR. There's new RTL SDR receiver, and there's RTL underscore TCP
So
SDR receiver.
TCP, so I've tried a few of these apps. RTL TCP is like $10 or something. Do not buy it. It is the most hastily, craftily made piece of software. It's what it does is it takes the RTL TCP and you connect to a networked RTL SDR.
Yeah.
But the interface is buggy. The waterfall looks like mush. And half the time it won't even connect for just no reason. You have to restart the app like 40 times.
So what's the Smart SDR like?
Smart SDR, those are like super, I believe that those are super expensive, like sort of like the Flex radio. I might be mistaken on that, but I believe there's an app for that, and then that's how you can use it if you have one of those.
So
like you can use a Flex radio.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a Flex radio app on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Flex radio. That's what Smart SDR is. It's for Flex radio.
Okay.
So yeah, you got to have your $1,000,
$3,000.
$3,000 radio. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you can get one for about $240 now, 2,400 or something.
Whew.
Okay, yeah, there is another one, SDR receiver.
That one is also RTL TCP, but it doesn't have a waterfall. It's just like you type in the frequency and you get audio.
Okay, so it says it will work with AirSpray and a couple of others. Okay, so there isn't one for the Apple then. That's
No,
a shame. I think I put one on my iPad, but
it's a real shame. I don't know. I think they said they might be looking to put it on the App Store, SDR++, but I don't know if they put SDR++ on the App Store, it would only have support for network stuff. So
yeah,
because Apple is super restrictive with their USB devices.
You mean they're overly proprietary?
Yeah, they're forcing parental controls on you when you're an adult. Paid $1,000 for this device. Can't use it how you want. Sorry, it's for your own safety.
yeah.
We know what's best for you.
I'm gonna have to check out.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry I was late. See you next time.
Yeah, no problem. And don't come back unless you got a Yazoo hat.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Have a good night, Lee.
He's got one.
Thanks for coming in, Lee. I'm about to check out myself. I'm done.
Yeah,
but have a good night, Lee.
SWR bridge. This is the only piece of Yazoo equipment I have. Nothing against them. They're good. They're great radios, but that's all I've got. Is this?
Yeah.
That's understandable.
I read some stuff on my FT100 the other day, and I was worried about the chip in it and how much I'm using it, and I thought I'd blown up the finals, and I didn't. But anyway, long story short, I read a lot about this radio. I got this thing for $300. They're selling 10-year-old used radios like this for $650 right now. So this is still an expensive radio. And I'm trying to figure out why. The original FT100s, not the FT100Ds, but the 100s are apparently pretty sought after. People really want these things. And I find out why. They're a freaking workhorse. If you keep them cool and you don't overdo it, they'll last forever. It's a workhorse. So I'm really, really happy with my Yazoo FT100. I really like that radio. Very happy with it. And it goes all the way up to UHF and all the way down to 160. So
yeah, this is gonna be strange. There's a Yazoo radio that I really liked. It's the FT 757 or 747. It's one of those small ones they had. They don't.
Does that one look like? Does it look like a plane?
No. But it's got.
I'm just kidding. It was the 747. I couldn't resist.
Yeah, it's got a little speaker hole in the top, and a little radio.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of those.
All right, guys. Sometime.
I have just completed my 9th hour of broadcasting today.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm done. If you guys want to stay, you can, but I'm done.
I'm gonna go. You might as well.
Yeah,
just-
me
just
too.
end
I've got to do a.
All right, so
yard
Rick,
sale
you can sit in
tomorrow,
here by yourself if you want.
No, I don't think I'll do that. I got other things
All
I
right.
could be doing, like setting up my new radio, although I'm probably going to go on to bed here soon. But
There
Yeah,
you
have
go.
fun with that. Have fun with that
Yeah.
radio.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, and so,
So-
Joseph, I saw you called me earlier, and I missed you. We'll get together over the
Did I
weekend.
call you?
I think you did on the
On
two-way
Zelle.
app thing, yeah, and I missed it. But anyway, I saw that, and then I forgot to call you back once I saw that you were trying to get hold of me. But anyway, the point is, let's get together over the weekend. I want to talk about a few of these projects. Maybe we'll put one together real quick or something.
Yeah, we need to get that
We've got the Zillow project we're working on too. So
Zello on the repeater, and I am going to remember to print out a shipping label for the All-Star box to send you. Keep forgetting.
yes, and I'm going to print you out a label for this DMR radio and send it to you.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yep, I'm going to do it.
Make a trade.
There's no sense in it sitting here till the battery goes bad.
Yeah. We have a DMR
so-
something or other around here, so it should be useful. All right.
Well, our DMR antenna is like on top of somebody's car over at the EOC. It's, you know,
Somebody's mobile repeater.
yeah. I mean, it's like it's literally like it's a joke. So
I wonder if
Oh,
that
that would be
other
fun.
no,
station
it's not their fault. Nobody was using it, so they moved it down. I get it, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Well, if there's nothing else, guys, I guess we'll call it for the night. It's been a pleasure, and
Yeah.
it's been fun. So we'll see you guys next week, and I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you whenever.